Hello, hello, everybody. Fiber Spider back again with another live stream. Hope all of you are doing really well today. It's just going to be another sort of low key, casual, impromptu kind of a live stream. I don't see anybody here as of yet, and that's okay. Um, hope all of you are doing well. Just, doing stuff and things and more stuff and more things. Um, Currently, I'm working on a lot of sewing, actually. Still working with my little sewn hexies for my quilt. Ooh, I see 4 people's in here. Hello. Yeah, so I'm just working on my little sewn hexies for my quilt. I'm getting there. It's a process. You know, um, I figure I need, in order to finish the number of hexes, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, Matt. Hi, Matt. When I said I was live, I meant I was like, setting up. I didn't mean I was like on, sorry. Um, we've got Sherry and Kitra and Cecilia and Jean and Doris and Judy and Darcy. The names just fly by. Hi, and Valerie. And S.L. Smith, hello. Oh, wow, we've got 31 already. My goodness. Hello. Hope everybody is doing spiffy. Um, yeah, so yeah, I'm working a lot on my little hexies. From what I gather, um, I'm gonna need like I think it's 720 more of these little guys that I can then sew together. And hi Spring, hello. I hope you're doing well. Um, yeah, gonna need about another 720 more of these little guys. Um, no, Matt, your phone is not tripping. Sorry. No, it's me. I'm bugging. You're not tripping. I'm bugging. Hello, Snatched. Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing good. Um, yes, Darth Mom. Hello. Yes, Darth Mom says thummies. And Barb. Hi, everybody. Yeah. So hopefully we'll be having some guests. Not obligatory, but it definitely helps things with the flow. The flow. Um, And so, yeah, I'm just going to be working a little bit on basting some hexies. Oh, so the Chicago Cubs get priority. I see how it is, Barb. That's okay. You can you can watch the replay. That's all right. I understand. Sports are a very big thing for some people's. Hello, April and Joe. Hello. Thank you so much, Joe. And Zenobia. Hello. I've never been into sports myself, to be perfectly honest. I'm sure you guys probably picked up on that. Not really a sports person. And hello, Bunny. Um, I think it stems from my childhood, not being able to throw very well or catch very well or run very fast or, any of the important things for playing sports. Um, so ooh, our favorite little panda is here. Hi, Tony. How are you? Hope you're doing well. um, and yeah, so sports. No, it was sort of where the line in the sand was drawn, and it's like I was on the other side. Um, blanket hugs and hellos. Yes, blanket hugs are the favorite kind. Blanket hugs and small furry woodland creature hugs like squirrels and chipmunks and hedgehogs. Those are the best kinds of snuggles and cuddles. Yes, we've got a panda bear in the house. What? Is there a sports team called the Pandas? I mean, we've got dolphins and Bengals and you know, um, you know, we have all sorts of mascots. Are there any pandas? Any panda mascots? Let me know because I don't follow sports. Um, okay, can you explain how the hexes are made again? It seems like it would be equivalent to making a big blanket out of number one yarn. Yeah, well, okay, so yeah, taking taking a little cardboard. See, I take these little guys, these little cardstock pieces, and then I wrap the fabric around them, and around I baste the fabric around the cardboard, and I sew it into place with basting stitches that can then be removed later. And so the basting stitches holds the fabric around the cardstock in place until I take all of these and I sew them together. And then when one of these has uh, a hexie sewn to each of the six sides, you can then remove the basting thread and trim it, and then trim off all the excess fabric. And then you can remove the cardstock, and you just keep doing that over and over and over and over and over again until you have enough to make a quilt. And it's called English paper piecing. And it is a very laborious process because it's all done by hand. Mm. And I want to make a nice sized quilt out of it. So, um, you had a hedgehog years ago? You didn't tell me that, Panda. I know that Russ had a hedgehog. Its name was Sylvester, and he was so adorable. He was a cutie patootie, but he hasn't been with us for quite some time, unfortunately. Right now, he's got the cutest kitten. I don't know if you guys saw. I think his name is Ranger. Oh, he's such a sweet little old man. Even though he's a kitten, he looks like a little old man. Reminds me a little bit of Tiny Tim. I miss Tiny Tim. Tiny Tim was the sweetest, cutest little old man of a kitten. There's something about kittens that reminds me of like little old men, just like, "Mm," you know? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I digress. So, yeah, let me see. Let's see, I've got 20, I think I've got about maybe 26 or 27 blocks of 80. So what is 27 times 80, please tell me, because I don't have access to a calculator right now. 27 times 80, please, in the chat. Hello, Lulu. Hope all of you are doing fabulous. Yeah, what's 27 times 80, please? Because then I can give you a rather disturbing number. Good, but disturbing. Let me just check something real quick. Okay. Nope. Sorry. I'm trying stuff and things here. Do 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 do. No, sorry. I don't know what I'm doing here. To be perfectly frank, I'm just sort of fiddling around. 2,160. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I have 2,160 of these little guys already sewn together. Yes. And so I need about, like, I think I said it was like, um, 720 more to do, and then those are in blocks. They're not all completely sewn together. They're in blocks, and then I just sew the blocks together, and then I'll have the quilt top done, I believe. Oh, wait, no, 2,460. I saw a 1, it's a 4. Oh my goodness. Ooh, a pot roast. Ooh, that sounds nummy. That sounds really nummy. Trying to blow up the thingamabobbers like I had before. Let's see, can I do that? Trying. Yes, I am. I am trying. Mhm. No, no. I mean, that blows up that thingy. Um, hmm, shape. Oh, wait, wait, wait. Ooh, I see. Here. There we go. Now I can see everything better. Um, yeah, I'm always technologically defunct. I'll be the first to admit that. Hello, Brenda. I don't know if Bear is Brenda, but hello. Hope all of you are doing fabulously. Um, so yeah, I'm just doing my thing, I'm just stitching away on my stuffs and things, but not to worry. Tomorrow, it's not a sewing tutorial. No, I already did a sewing tutorial on how to make these little guys. No, tomorrow it is going to be a crocheting tutorial. Yes, it is. Um, and I'm really quite pleased with it because it was super duper easy and it worked up really, really, really fast. And I made the entire project in only 2 days. Trying to see what that is. That Gioia? Last name Casterline. Hello, Bear. Oh, Brenda Bear. Okay. Yeah, I don't like to assume nothing. Hello, Brenda Bear. It's 101 degrees there. Dang, that's hot. That is really hot. Doritos chicken casserole. That sounds really good. What kind of Doritos? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Um, Doritos chicken sounds really, really good. Now, has anybody tried the golden sriracha? Um, they're not bad. The golden sriracha flavored Doritos, they're pretty good. I like sriracha. I like anything spicy, you know. As far as I'm concerned, no pain, no gain. And I like to feel the burn. It's like if I don't exercise, I gotta feel the burn somewhere else, right? Might as well be in my taste buds. Um, but yeah, so I do have a crochet tutorial for tomorrow. Hello, Jennifer. And so I will give you guys a sneak peek because you guys are so special. And I love you guys. So yes, this is the sneak peek of my tutorial for tomorrow. It's a poncho. Yes, it is. And of course, it would help if I could stand up and back away from the camera like about 5 feet. But this this is this is the poncho, and so this is based off of a stitch, the acrobatic stitch, and it works up super duper easy, super fast. And so it is only a 2 round repeat. Yep. 2 round repeat. So easy. It's just double crochets, and you're working into stitch spaces, not into actual stitches. So it just flies right by. Think like in the terms of like granny squares where we're going into the stitch spaces, not into the actual stitches. It goes so quick. Um, After death sauce, ooh, that sounds good. Sounds like Death Wish coffee. That's pretty good stuff too. So this super duper easy, super fast, really easy because just a 2 round repeat. And woo, hello. Ah! So for this, I used it was Lion Brand Mandala in the bonus bundle because the colorway, it takes longer for each segment of color to progress. So because this is going around a rather large circumference, I wanted the colors to be wider striped as opposed to skinny striped. Thank you, Matt. So that was my choice, and this was the colorway of Spirit, and I didn't even use an entire skein. Now, I had, like, this much left of that cake, so you get a lot of mileage, and I used a size J 6 millimeter sized crochet hook, so this will be for tomorrow. Yep. No, I'm seeing something here. No? Okay. Well, thank you very much, everybody. Thank you. Yeah, so I figure that's gonna be the tutorial for tomorrow, and, well, we'll see what happens, you know? Got my refreshing water kefir, and, ooh, I made the most fabulous chocolate chip cookies this past week. My coworkers were, like, enthralled. It was fabulous. Um, very, very easy recipe. I might do a video on them. I'm not sure as of yet, but I might. The most impressive thing, the yield. The yield was so good. It was shy just by 1, shy of 5 dozen. Oh, yes, so you can imagine, yes, I brought those suckers into work, and, I was the veritable Cookie Monster spreading the joy. "Hey, crafty goddess. Hello, hello." That sauce is 50,000 Scoville? Oh my gosh. September 29. That's such a cute name. Hello. Um, thank you. Thank you, Darth Mom. Um, so yeah, the cookies, they came out really good. And so I generally, when I make anything with chocolate chips, I use dark chocolate. It's like a must for me. I absolutely love dark chocolate. Um, and I also used sliced almonds. And my thing is that I love cookies, but I love them all the more if they are soft and a little bit chewy. Hello, Elena and Sharon. Um, I'm not a big crunchy cookie kind of person. I like the concept of biscotti, but they're they're too crunchy, and I'm not a dunker. I don't dunk my cookies. Like Oreos. Nope, I just eat them as they are. Um, oh, thank you, crafty goddess. Thank you so much. Um, by the way, I saw your tag your it video. Um, cool responses. And Matt, I saw yours as well. I tried to be as inclusive as I could. Um, Hello, Helen. Tried to be inclusive as I could with like who I tagged and so forth. I'm sure I missed some people, and I do apologize for that. But I gave a big long list when I did my video. Tag your it for my top 10 books and movies. I just thought it would be kind of fun to do one myself because I've been tagged in videos before. Um, you don't discriminate against any kind of cookies, you eat them all, Bonnie? Well, that's good, you know? Um, I know what I like. I like a soft, chewy cookie. Um, but yeah, I've done a bunch of the tag your it videos where people have tagged me, and, I'll watch other people's videos. I'm like, "Did they pick me? Did they pick me? Did they pick me?" And, so I figure, you know what? I wanna be on the other side of that. I wanna be the one to start the ball rolling. And I thought it'd be fun, because on this channel, especially during the live streams, I thank you, Matt. Oh, hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Um, uh, yeah, on this channel, especially during the live streams, I love to talk about movies. I love to talk about books, because I've been an avid reader since I was like 5-ish. Even if I couldn't read very well, I was always fascinated by reading, and I spent many, 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 many hours in the library just perusing and picking up stuffs and whatnot. And actually, it was in a library that I got my very first job. Um, I started actually as a volunteer. Oh, I'm sorry, Michael. I hope it passes quickly for you. I don't like to see you in pain. Yeah, my first volunteer job was as an assistant at a library, and every summer they had the summer reading program where kids would read books. Um, and yes, Crafty Goddess, I know it's really hard to narrow it down. Trust me, I know. So kids would read books and they would come in and they would tell a listener all about the books that they read, give sort of like a brief synopsis and talk about the book. Um, and then for every book that you read, you would get a sticker on a folder. And for every X number of books, you would get like a jack ball, little bouncy ball, or a plastic ring, or, a cheap little plastic toy doodad kind of thing, and it was fun. So I would sit in the children's department, and I was a listener for the summer reading program. And this, oh my gosh, this was going back into I want to say like the mid 90s, actually. We're going way back into the Wayback Machine. And so I did that, and then from that, I got a job as a library page where um yeah, the humidity, Darth Mom, I know, there's a great expression from the movie Rear Window. You would think that the rain would have cooled things off. No, all it did was make the heat wet. Um, Such a good movie. The original version with James Stewart and Grace Kelly. Oh, that was Grace Kelly, wasn't it? In Rear Window? I think it was Grace Kelly. Hello, Gracie. Speaking of Gracies and Graces, um, you recently wait, what does it say? I'm trying to scroll up and I can't scroll up. Why can I not scroll up? Let me try this. Mm, Trying. Hang on. I want to see what that said. Do. Sorry, I'm interested in seeing. I recently subscribed and ordered you something. They couldn't deliver to a PO box, so I have it here and will send it to you next week. I tried to choose something in response to what you like. Oh, well, thank you so much. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, Helen. Thank you. Um, Favorite movie is The Rose. Favorite song, The Rose. That's a good one. Going from high 90s today to mid 70s tomorrow. Your weather's all over the place, Michael. You need a break. Between the floods and the rain and the heat, you need a break. You need a vacation. Yeah, Rear Window is such a good movie, Crafty Goddess. Yeah, it was Grace Kelly? Okay. Yeah, that was actually one of the first, Hitchcock movies that I got into, aside from Psycho. Love the movie Psycho. We won't go into subtext. Um, um, you had read 5 books and get a free personal pan pizza from Pizza Hut when you were a kid. You got spoiled, Michael. You got seriously spoiled. Can anyone suggest a yarn that is close to Premier Chenille Bulky? Wow, I never really used bulky weights, so I couldn't help you out with that one. I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm 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 not really into doing bulky weight projects. Um, Sorry about that. Can't help you. Um, Me, generally the yarn weight that I usually go with. Hello, Carmen. Um, The yarn weight that I usually go with is a 3 or a 4. Um, does anyone remember SRA in school, where you read books and progress progress at your own pace, or Scholastic and brought books? I remember Scholastic books. I don't remember SRA though. Um, You wonder how music would be today had Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, and Elvis had still been around. That's an interesting thought. I would say it would probably be better. Um, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Um, what is SRA? What does SRA stand for? What does SRA stand for? Um, yeah, Rear Window, such a good movie. So, so good. What is SRA? I mean, Scholastic Books, there was one, it was called like the Nitty Gritty City, and it was for reading comprehension in school. And then there was also there was a bunch. Oh, there was Dictopedia. Dictopedia, I remember that. It was like dictionary slash encyclopedia. Dictopedia was, again, it was how to learn how to read and spell and so forth, for learning reading and spelling in school. And does anybody else remember Dictopedia? Darth Mom, the Birds was good. Scholastic Reading Association. Oh, that's SRI. Okay. You read 24 books one month, and the teacher would not credit them all because they were from the same author. Well, that's nonsense. That's not fair. That that should count, you know. If you read all those books and they were by the same author, fine, they're by the same author, you know. You shouldn't be penalized for that. The only thing though, the only thing that I do object to is like we have summer reading programs. We also have winter reading programs at my library. The only thing that I object to, now I want your opinion on this, guys. The only thing that I personally object to is when people read graphic novels um, towards that. So, like for every book that you read, you get credit. You get basically a raffle ticket, and they have some really elaborate, good prizes for the reading programs. I don't know if it's this year, but I remember one year, one of the prizes was a Nintendo Switch. Mm, yeah. Another one was a kayak. Yeah, they do some crazy, crazy stuff. Um, Joy says something was in the late 60s. What was in the late 60s? What was in the late 60s? I remember book fairs. I loved book fairs. Yeah, Joy Crochet 84. What was in the late 60s, and why are you laughing at me? Was Dictopedia in the late 60s? Because I was a child of the 80s and such. What are you laughing at me for? Um, yeah, Joy, what are you laughing at me about? Hmm? What's so funny? Um, reading program by color. Let's see. Scholastic book fairs. I loved those. Absolutely loved, loved, loved book fairs. What was I just talking about? Oh, the teacher that didn't credit you? Well, meh. Oh yeah. So what I was talking about is so we have the reading programs. Um, and so it's when people read graphic novels, um, and those are supposed to count towards like you actually reading a book. Now, granted, there is text. Okay. Um, there is text in graphic novels, but to me, personally, graphic novels are basically glorified comic books. Now, don't get me wrong, the artwork is usually very phenomenal and it lends itself to the story, and I really like them. However, do you think that they can be construed as books, as in novels, as in something worthy of, a raffle ticket for winning a fabulous prize when other people are reading stuff like actual novels that don't have pictures on absolutely every page? Um, Now, if it's a child, you know, and they're reading picture books, that's understandable. But if it's adults, I think it's kind of a cheat. You know, another example of graphic novels, manga, potato, because a lot of people they do read. manga or graphic novels to count those as books towards the program for the raffle, and I think it's kinda cheating. What do you guys think? You know, let me know what you think. Darth Mom says, "No glorified comics." That's kinda my feeling, you know? Um, there was a young woman that I worked with, and she would always do, participate in the reading program, and she would take out, like, 20, 30 manga, graphic novel, comic books, whatever you wanna call them, and she would take out, like, her 20 or 30 or so, and she would finish them all in, like, less than a week. And I'm like, that's tipping the scales, just a little bit, Um, right now, currently, um, ElfQuest, I've heard of ElfQuest. I have heard of that. And it looked really looked really good, actually. Um, Now, right now, I'm currently reading 3 books at the same time, and it's slow going, but I'm doing it. Thank you, Carmen. Um, Hello, Donna. As long as they're reading, personally don't see an issue, but that's just me. Michael, that's fair. I mean, the thing is that I see at the circulation desk when I'm checking out books, and there's like a kid um, who takes out like a huge stack of these graphic novels, like this big, and there's like 10 of them, and the kid's feeling all happy and proud with himself, but they're all graphic novels. And the parents, my guess is the parents don't know any better, and they don't realize that they're not like the kids aren't actually reading. They're basically reading comic books. And the parents feel proud and the kids are puffing up their chests. To me, it's sort of like getting a participation award. It's like getting an award for showing up, but you're not actually doing the work because those are not going to help a child with reading comprehension. That's what I'm afraid of, you know, that the standards have gone down. I'm a grumpy old man. I'm showing my age. Um, what can I say? And I mean, right now, the books that I'm reading now, granted, one of them is an audiobook, but it's still a book. And the reason why I'm reading that is so that I can get sewing done and read at the same time. It totally helps. Um, and so the audiobook that I'm reading is The Exorcist. And I believe it's William Peter Blatty or Peter William Blatty. I can never remember the order of the first and middle names. But yes, I'm reading that, and for any of you that are familiar with the movie or the story, I got up to the point where the officer Kinderman um, is asking Damien Karras, the priest, if he knows anything might be up with the mysterious death of Burke Dennings, the film director. That's okay, Matt, not a problem. I'm showing my age on the last of the baby boomers. Stop, stop, stop. I'm not a baby boomer. I'm Gen X, I believe. Because I was born in '79, so I think I'm Generation X, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's the thing. Standards, Michael. Yes, standards unfortunately have gone way down. Um, and I don't know. I get concerned. Teresa, thank you. William Peter Blatty, thank you, thank you. Um, well, I can do audiobooks if I'm familiar with the story already. Fellow Gen X kid here, and I mostly agree with you, but I grew up in a household where my mom would suggest the Dune and Lord of the Rings series. Well, no, those are cool because those are actually books. They're not glorified comic books. Um, I mean, my dad, he practically raised me on The Hobbit. Um, I know that my dad was very big on The Lord of the Rings, but even to this day, I cannot get into The Lord of the Rings because you need a PhD in fantasy, lore understanding and so forth. And for me, I can't grasp it. Same thing actually goes with reading Dune. I tried reading Dune, um, and I couldn't get into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Could not get into Dune. I tried. Um, Oddly enough, it was one of the books that I was supposed to read for a college course that I was reading. It was science fiction literature. Um, and so we had a science teacher and an English professor both teaching the class at the same time, which was really interesting. Um, because we had different perspectives going on. It was, I think, maybe the first time I had um, a college course where I had two professors going hand in hand. Michael, yes, I was raised on PBS as well. Ghost Rider, I remember that. Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Yes. Um, the guys singing a cappella, Reading Rainbow, This Old House. Yes, I watched all those. Reading Rainbow, one of the best stories that creeped me out beyond belief, still does to this day on Reading Rainbow. It was Miss Nelson is Missing. There was a school classroom, the teacher disappears and is replaced by this really wicked looking woman. Um, I cannot remember her name, but she was terrifying. She had black lips and white pasty face and black stringy hair. And oh God. Um, don't forget Doug, and was it Eat My Shorts? No, it was Salute Your Shorts. Yes, about Camp Anawana. Yes, Camp Anawana. We hold you in our hearts, and when we think about you, it makes me wanna fart. It was a great, stupid show back in the early '90s, I wanna say. I mean, Doug was a great cartoon, don't get me wrong. Um, let's see. Nope. And that's okay. I was hoping that other people would be able to join us in on the chat, but that's okay. Um, Miss Marple, uh, 65 to something is Gen X. If you mean 1965, um, I thought that like if you were born in the 60s, then it would have been baby boomer. I thought. Oh no. Um, yes, Camp Anawana was. It was. Salute Your Shorts, it was a good one. There was, basically this host of characters. It was sort of like if there was a 1990s, sitcom type show, that took place in a summer camp, but you had the different archetypes of, like, The Breakfast Club, because you had, um, a tomboy and a hippie and a grunge type, um, musician, bully type, like all those different ones. Um Helen says, "You're the same age as my daughter. When is your birthday?" February 19th, 1979. Mm, yep, right on the cusp between Pisces and Aquarius. Yes, the electric company was pretty groovy. I know Morgan Freeman. Yeah, it was like it was his first gig. Um, Need to know what college program required reading the Dune books. Um, well, I mean, it wasn't like it was part of the course list, but yeah, no, it was a class called science fiction literature. Um, no, same bumper ends at 64. That's why I said I'm the last of the Gen X, 65 to 1980. Ah, okay. Um, Bumper sticker, not bumper sticker. Okay. Um, Whatchamacallit? Well, the class also, let's see, what else? What are the other books that we read in that class? I mean, I remember writing a paper actually on it was The Last Man on Earth by Richard Matheson. And because there was a science fiction element to it, but it's the book that was then turned into the movie The Last Man on Earth with sorry, I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. I'm getting tongue-tied. My mind is going a million miles a minute. I apologize. Um, I Am Legend by Richard Matheson. It was turned into The Last Man on Earth with Vincent Price, and then it was turned into The Omega Man with Charlton Heston, and then it was turned into I Am Legend. Hello, Jen Snow. Then it was the I Am Legend with Will Smith, um, and it was all about sort of demystifying vampirism through psychological and um, biological um, thingamabobbers. Um, so yeah, I remember reading that. Oh, we also read, Starship Troopers. That was another one that we read, which actually Matt had mentioned. Um, uh, Starship Troopers, that was another one. We might have read Flatland, although I don't think that we did. Um, mm, Trying to remember. There was a bunch, yeah. There was definitely a bunch of stuff that might have been The Incredible Shrinking Man, maybe? It's possible. Um, but I do know that that was also Richard Matheson as well. Um, hmm. Michael, your mom threw underwear at Elvis? Oh my. Risque. I don't know. I don't understand the whole Beatlemania thing with like girls like like losing their minds and screaming like I don't know. I mean, I've been to plenty of concerts and I never like imploded, you know. I mean, I saw David Bowie and I absolutely loved the performance, but I wasn't like crying and screaming. I was cheering. I was going woo. Um but I wasn't having an absolute meltdown. Um oh, joy. Well, you know what? I can understand not having television if you live, conservatively. I get that. But there were some redeeming television shows. I mean, Mr. Rogers. I mean, that was totally wholesome and innocuous and educational too. Um, I used to watch Bob Ross like all the time as a kid. I just, excuse me. I found him so soothing, so relaxing. Hello, Diane. Um, Baby boomers are 46 to 64. Okay, yeah, I'm definitely not in that category, although I've always been an old soul. Um, but yeah, Bob Ross, I watched a lot of him. And also, even though I was never following along, there was a yoga program also on PBS where there was like this I wanna say, there might have been, like, an outline of a sun hanging in the back of the studio, and there was a woman with a long mane of dark hair, usually tied back, and she was in a onesie, and she was doing yoga, and I found her fascinating. I never did the yoga myself. Um, Michael, yes, Fred Rogers was a gem. We should have charged him more. I agree, you know? Um Brady Bunch, Partridge Family, Speed Racer. Brady Bunch, I loved the Brady Bunch. I mean, of course, when I watched it, it was reruns. Same thing with Laverne and Shirley, but still love it. Good stuffs. Um, because that was from a time period. I wouldn't say like the golden years, necessarily, but that was from a time when television was a lot more innocuous and a lot more innocent and it still touched upon things um, that were important to talk about, but in a less invasive manner. I mean, this is before like you know um, Law and Order or CSI or that sort of thing, where right these days language and nudity and murder is very graphic and very commonplace. Um, and it's become entertainment. oddly enough. But then again, if you go back, however many, you know, decades and centuries, public executions used to be a form of family entertainment. They would go with their picnic baskets and they would watch people being executed. Yeah, go figure. Um, there was also a form of, I'm going to get a little dark here, but that's not new. There was a form of torture slash execution, and I believe it was called the bellowing bull, if I'm not mistaken. Um, and it was a large, very large metal bowl um, that was made out of metal. It was hollow, and the person being tortured slash executed was put inside of this large metal bowl. And then there was a fire that was lit underneath it. And the person inside, well, they're going to get, you know, they're going to become a post toasty, because underneath the bowl, which is metal, getting heated up, and there was a attached to the mouth of the bowl a long coiling, sort of like a trumpet, and the only way that the person could breathe would be through that aperture, and um, usually they would end up screaming, but because of the coiling of the horn, and the screaming and the echoing, it would sound like a bellowing bull. And that bull was set up on the table, the banquet table of like royal parties, and it was a form of entertainment. I didn't create it. I'm just talking about it. um, go figure, right? Um, Justin Wilson. Missed that. Panda Bear, John Goodman being Speed Racer. No, John Goodman wasn't Speed Racer. I thought he was Speed Racer's father in that movie. I didn't see that movie, but I know of it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You could say that the Bellowing Bull was the first pressure cooker, I guess. Uh, English cartoon called Spotty Man. Interesting. Yeah, yeah, Panda. That's why I thought that the John Goodman was the father of Speed Racer in that movie, and I think Susan Sarandon was the mom. I think I never watched the movie. I hadn't seen it, but I know of it. Um, I was never really huge on anime, um, with the exception of course, anything by Studio Ghibli. Love Love, love, love anything by Miyazaki and Studio Ghibli. My Neighbor Totoro, The Secret World of Arrietty, Kiki's Delivery Service. Ooh, ooh, spring's here. Hi, love.
Howdy, how are you, my dear?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm all
Happy to
right.
happy to have you here.
I was gonna spin and then I thought I might not want to because it might be too loud in the.
Oh, you get your motorized dealy jam?
No, well, here. It's my I'm manual. Is that loud?
I don't hear anything.
Okay. I just
I
didn't want.
I No, you're good.
Okay.
I literally don't hear anything.
Awesome. I know it's a little bit noisy, especially with
Okay,
my
hang on
earbud
just
in.
1 second. Um, I'm sorry, hang on. Gotta do something real quick.
You're fine. Hello, everyone.
There's
Looking.
somebody. Um,
Hi, Bonnie.
okay, no, it's just
Yeah.
doing something. Yeah,
Yep. Maintenance.
yeah, just a little maintenance.
Hi, Cecilia. How are you, dear? Yep, maintenance. House
Mhm.
cleaning.
stuff, things and stuff, Um,
No, June.
okay. We should be good.
Good.
Yeah, sorry about that, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, as you were saying,
Hi, Darth Mom. Hello, Gracie. Hello, everyone. Hello.
hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
Was I successful?
It looks like it. I gotta move over.
Good.
My
Yeah.
dog's wanting off the couch.
Well, they either want off or they want on, it's like they want
Yeah.
attention or they want their independence.
She's reaching out, going, Mom, can you move the stand, please?
But if your
Mom.
if your if your wheel is going, I honestly I don't hear anything. You're totally fine.
Okay, good. Yeah, I didn't want to be
No, you're
disruptive.
good. You're good.
If it's my side on mine, it's like, whatever, but I don't want to be disruptive on
No,
yours.
I hear like a very like slight like clicking noise, but
That's
no,
it.
you're totally fine.
Okay.
Um, whatchamacallit? Actually, ooh, you know what? Just yesterday, I believe it was. We have another one or no? Or because some
Yeah.
we do.
Yeah.
Where I'm looking. Do.
Yeah. I agree, Michael.
Um,
June. Stop. Hi, Cameron. Hello, everyone.
yeah, I don't see.
Good to
I
see you.
did. I saw the one. I don't see any others though.
Um, stop. Let's see here.
Fuzzy Butt. Hello, Fuzzy Butt. Hi, Chris.
Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do. There we
Yeah, because
go.
I did block a person. It was like tarot something something, but I blocked
Yep.
them.
Yeah, that one.
Are
The
they?
new IPs,
Beg your pardon?
new IPs. They go get a new IP.
Well, no. Wait, I blocked that person, but
Hmm.
I don't see them in the chat anymore.
Okay, good.
Does anybody else?
It looks like it's gone on my side.
Okay, good. Not going to waste too much time on it. I just don't want it to bother anybody. Um, but no, what I was going to say before we got sidetracked, just yesterday, hello, Breezy. Just yesterday at the library, they were doing a program. You're not going to believe what we had at my library.
Oh, did somebody spinning or processing fiber or something?
Close, but no.
Weaving?
Nope.
Oh, what?
No, we had two llamas.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes, we had two llamas. They were doing a program for the kids, and so the kids could, see llamas in person and give it a pet, and you know,
Uh-huh.
um, I was like, "That's novel."
Yeah.
Um, um, and one of them apparently was feeling a little bitchy and decided to spit into the face of one of the handlers,
Oh, lovely. Well, at least
and
it was
that's
the handler and not a
you know
pedestrian or, you know,
Well, and
person.
that's why they always wear glasses or sunglasses because they're like, "Yep, it's gonna happen. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when."
Men. Yep, they are. We used to, being a blacksmith, we used to shoe horses at a place that had alpacas and llamas, and their llamas were rather cantankerous.
You know, but I was like, "That's pretty neat." And I
That's
just
awesome.
there was one that was sort of like not calico, but it was like a lot of different colors of patchy, fur, hair.
Hmm.
And then there was another one. It was all the most gorgeous, sort of like a chestnut brown.
Hmm.
Oh, oh,
Reds, man, reds.
oh. It was like the most gorgeous reddish brown. And I was just like, I want to snuggle, cuddle, go for a ride
Uh-huh.
on this llama and just, oh, I just want to hop on his back, give his neck a squeeze, and then while he's occupied, start combing out his fur and keep it so I could spin it.
Uh-huh.
I'm like a big child. Okay. See, I don't see that person.
Yeah,
Um,
it is.
I do not see that person because
Yep,
I blocked them, so I don't see them.
yep. They're there.
Oh, this is so charming, really. Uh, Not blocked. Block them on YouTube. This is so aggravating.
Mm.
Honestly, I really hope that you're, satisfied with yourself and you have absolutely nothing better to do on my little stream. This is not PewDiePie, okay? This
Right.
is not, the crochet crowd. I am but a small YouTube channel, and you have nothing better to do? Really?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if your gene pool needs a little bit of chlorine or if your family tree needs more branches, I can't help you with that. Seriously.
Oh,
Right.
hello
Hi,
there.
Gary.
Gary. Hi,
How
Gary.
are
Hiya. How
you?
you doing? How's everyone doing tonight?
Good.
We're doing, yeah,
Uh-oh.
all right, you know what? Could you guys hold the fort for a minute?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna try something. So if this gets disconnected, I apologize, everybody. But I'm going to try to see what I can do. All right. So
Okay.
Okay.
how do I hide camera? There. All right. Okay. Can you guys hear me?
Yep, we can
Yeah.
hear you.
Okay, so I'm gonna try and see what I can do on my end because people are people.
Mm-hmm. What you
Mm-hmm.
working on, Gary?
Hi. Spring, what you working on? Hello in the chat.
I'm working on some gorgeous fiber.
Ooh, that does look nice.
It's sparkly and purple and blue. I am spinning it into a single so I can ply it with a really pretty tweed purple that I spun.
Nice.
It's gorgeous. What are you up to?
I I actually picked up a project and I looked at the pattern where I'm at, and I don't think I can work on it while I'm talking because I need a count. I'm working on a new item and it's
Ooh.
a sweater. So I'm doing the yoke
Uh-huh.
and it's like lots of counting.
Uh-huh.
So it increases as you knit down. So
Right.
I'm at an increased row.
Mm. Yeah. I finished the body of the knitted sweater I was working on, and I'm doing my sleeves two at a time. They're Celtic cable all the way down, I'm doing on
Hello,
both sleeves. So,
Wow, I can't wait to see that.
oh, I can't wait to finish
guys. Can
it.
you hear me?
Yep,
Yeah,
you're
we can hear
back.
Okay.
you.
I think I was successful.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the issue. I had to actually like go out of this window, go into the live stream on YouTube in a separate window of the app, and then do what I could do there. So hopefully it worked. So hopefully, guys, the issue is resolved. I do apologize for any inconvenience. I'm sorry. But,
Anna Michelle.
technical difficulties. Sorry,
Yeah.
Dorothy. All right. Everybody good and groovy now? I'm sorry.
Good for
I'm gonna have to
now.
watch back because it sounds like something I missed.
Well, no,
Oh,
somebody
yeah.
was just we had a troll that was had absolutely nothing better to do.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
I see. Yeah.
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 So sorry about that I couldn't give you like an appropriate hello when you came in. I was preoccupied. I do apologize. Thank you for hopping in.
No,
Um,
absolutely. You know what? It it called you away and you needed to look after that straight away. So I understand.
well, see
Absolutely.
what I keep telling myself I need to do, and I've yet to do it, is I need to have moderators. I need to have admins when I do this, so that if that pops up, that
It can be handled.
people can help me out. So, how about this? That's my reminder.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
sorry, everybody.
Spring, did you do the 10 favorite movies and songs?
The
Book,
songs
books.
and crochet, yes.
Oh, okay. What about the movies and the books?
No, I haven't done the movies and the books. Books would be hard for me because I don't read.
Yeah.
Hi, Pamela.
The the movies, oh, I could talk for days on movies like I do music.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
but I have not done that one yet. I did do the
Hi,
music.
Jack.
That was fun.
Hey, Jax. Jax
Jaxie,
is in here.
Hi, Nana
Jaxie.
Michelle.
Oh, I see.
Oh,
There's so
yeah,
many
because
people in here.
well, it happens. Well, I wanted to start yes, Michael, I know you've told me. I know, Michael, yes, you've told me. I'm naughty, naughty, naughty. I know. Um, well, it's just I've done so many of the things where I've been tagged, but I never started a tag your it video, and I just thought it would be fun to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm planning to do mine tomorrow. And I actually had to sit down and think about it for a long time, which is good because like it makes you feel what has been important and what has been entertaining sort of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Diane, I'm working on English paper piecing with little tiny itty bitty cardboard hexes and basting fabric to them so that I can make them into a quilt. That's what I'm working on, and it's taking forever because I still need like another 720 um, uh, uh, of these little schmendricks that I then have to sew together. And Jax, if you mean this, it is my water kefir. I'm keeping it probiotic. Ooh, and what are you drinking, Mr. Man, in that fabulous mug?
This is one of my own potted mugs. I turned on the wheel.
No
Um,
shit.
Nice.
That's
coffee.
fabulous.
Nice.
Thank
Love
you.
it. Love it.
Is it stoneware?
Yeah,
Oh, I love
it's so
stoneware.
yeah.
Awesome. Oh, oh gosh, I miss getting my hands in clay like that.
Me
Yeah.
too.
Oh,
The
So
so
last
many things
time,
to do when we retire, right? Like a lot of
mm,
those
yeah.
things we're parking until we kind of have time and space to do it.
yeah.
Hmm. Well, the last time I did any sort of ceramics, I was a senior in high school back in 1996 and 97. And it was a lot of fun. The only thing is that when I was taking it, it was like the dead of winter, and um, my skin has a tendency of really drying out in the winter. Mix that with also the clay. My knuckles were bleeding
Oh my
My
goodness.
because
God.
my skin was so dry. Like my skin was so dry that it was cracked and bleeding. It was so bad. Especially it was worse when you use the red clay.
Oh yeah.
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 The gray much better, but the red clay, oh heck no.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's so much silt and particulate matter in there.
Mm-hmm.
Good night, Mel.
Good
Thank you for
night, girl.
joining. But I loved the gray clay, the white gray, because it was so smooth. It was like butter.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and one of my favorite things that I made in that class, it was a functioning teapot with fitted lid and two cups.
Wow.
And that was
And
our
Wow.
final
how did it
project.
pour? Did it pour good?
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is that the project was he gave us a limited amount of clay. He's like, okay, I'm giving you this much clay. I want to say it was 5 pounds.
Yep. That's
And he's
that's
like, okay,
healthy.
you can
That's
only
nice.
use 5 pounds, and you have to make all of these things, and the water from the pot has to fill up both cups.
Ooh, that's a
And if you can do
challenge.
that,
Challenge.
if you can do that, then you pass. If not, you don't pass.
Yeah.
Oh,
That was our final project.
nice challenge though.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was a great challenge.
It's like a lot of math involved as well because you need to know shrinkage and you need to know like
Yep.
all that stuff, like
And
thickness
we
of
don't like
walls.
dealing with shrinkage.
No.
No.
People who haven't used the kiln before probably
Oh
don't
yeah.
understand what the shrinkage is.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, or it melts. You know, that's
Or
what
it
I
Yeah.
deal with
explodes because of air
glass.
bubbles.
Yeah.
Yeah, it explodes.
Hmm.
Yes. I put in my kiln, it was hilarious. I made this beautiful marble, glass marble. And I mean, I was so happy with it. I loved how it looked. And I set it in the kiln and then I opened the kiln up to check on it and it was a puddle.
Yeah.
Oh,
It was a puddle. I was like, here we go again.
Yeah. Yeah. There
that
are
sucks.
so many chances for missteps
Oh
at
yeah.
any point of the make that
Yep.
it's not like knitting or crochet where you can just rip it back and maybe start again or even fix it somehow.
Right.
That's definitely a finite issue with when it
Hmm.
comes
Also,
out of the kiln and it's like a puddle.
there's such permanence though. There's such a major element of permanence with doing clay pieces that you then fire through the kiln. Um, uh, Clay liked having hands all over him. He was a weirdo. What are you talking about? Michael, what are you? Is this like, or are you like, were you doing a reenactment of Ghost?
You're right.
My goodness.
The good thing
Um,
about the glass puddle is it turned into a worry stone.
That's
that's
good.
cool. There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah, yeah,
I
and
used to make worry stones out of polymer clay and cold porcelain.
Yes.
that permanence comment that you made, Craig, it's so true because people are still digging up like clay pieces from thousands of years ago, and some of them are still
Yes.
functioning. It's
Yep.
like amazing. Like
Mhm.
buildings topple down, and they might find like a piece of it, but then there's a workable like teapot or a cup that still holds water. So that's kind of remarkable.
Yeah.
Helen wants to know where you're located, Gary.
Oh, I'm in on Vancouver Island in
Mm.
Canada.
I'm jealous of you, by the way.
I know it's fantastic here.
I'm
It's
really
beautiful.
jealous of you.
How cool are you right now?
As in temperature,
Hmm.
where we just had a 24 degrees Celsius day, but right now it's probably a little cooler than that, so maybe 20 degrees. I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit.
I was gonna say that's great in your neck of the woods lingo, but I have no idea what it
I think,
means.
isn't it like 32 degrees added to that or something like that for Fahrenheit? I can't never remember.
I don't
Yes, I think
know.
you might be right
I
because
think it's something like that.
freezing for us is 0, which is super easy. But
Right.
freezing for you guys is like 30 something,
32.
32.
Hmm.
32.
Yeah.
So maybe you're right, Spring, that you just add an extra 32 on top.
So it's probably like 52 degrees Fahrenheit here if you're at 20
Yes.
Celsius.
Yeah.
And
At a
we're at
guess.
86 here.
Wow, that's hot, right? I'm just
Yes.
doing the math. Yeah.
Well, sometimes we get pretty high up there. Like right now, I want to say it's like in the 80s and 90s ish,
Mhm.
but the
Mhm.
humidity. Ah,
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
ah.
I visited New York City in 96 and it was in July, August over that time
Mistake.
frame.
That was a
Oh my
mistake.
goodness.
Yeah.
I was like, we were frying.
Yeah.
You
Well,
could
because
we
in
could
the
have actually
city,
made breakfast on the pavement.
yeah, in the city, the thing about the New York City is that everything is exacerbated by the fact that it is a concrete jungle.
Mm,
Okay. So
Yes.
if it's hot, you can't escape the heat because it's like one big oven. In the winter, it's like one big refrigerator, and a wind tunnel. And so, like, no, either you freeze or you boil. It's one or the other. Like, in between, it's rare,
It-
you know?
yeah, yeah.
exactly.
You
Thank
know,
you
But
very much.
there's
Well,
I wouldn't have changed anything, even the weather. We we were just happy to be in New York City. It was fantastic. So yeah, it was a great experience.
been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt. I'm done.
Yeah,
exactly.
actually, there was a T-shirt that was being sold the very next day after the heat wave, and
Uh-huh.
it had written on there, "This is a real capitalist kind of city,"
Of
because they're
course.
making a buck out of it, saying like, "I survived the heat of 1996." Yeah, so they're available to purchase on the street.
Well, that's New York for you, though.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like a capitalistic, materialistic, consumeristic
Mhm.
monument of the country here,
hmm
um, which is kind of embarrassing. But and the thing is, I don't live even anywhere near the city, um,
Right.
but because if you look at a map, it looks close by. No, it's hours away.
yeah, yeah,
Right. I think the
Like
best place is up by Syracuse.
yeah.
you know what? If I had my druthers, like if I could move like right now, but it had to be somewhere reasonably local, I would want it to be like upstate New York because it's more rural, it's a little bit
Yes.
more bucolic, um,
Yes.
and I can't deal with the hubbub and the noise and the I great. It never sleeps. Okay, I go to sleep.
Right.
You
Exactly.
know.
At some
Eventually, right,
point.
Dave? You sleep. You're always up though.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm always up when everybody else is asleep, but I do sleep though.
Right.
Um, but the noise and the pervasive effluvia, the smells, whether you want them
Mm.
or not, you can't escape anything there.
And the
But I mean,
four-legged critters that are unwanted.
whether they're well, roaches have more than four, but
No, no,
um,
the big Jurassic rats that go in the subway.
oh,
Oh
those,
right,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
One, two.
Blech. Those suckers are ridiculous.
Yeah. And then, I remember like my dad would take my brother and I into the city on excursions into the city when we were kids. And as soon as like we crossed the bridge, he was like, "Okay, roll up your windows, lock your doors."
no,
Well, because also when we went in, it was like the 1980s.
80s, yeah.
And
Yeah.
so this is way before like everything was, I guess you would say, gentrified, where everything was completely cleaned up and polished and whatnot. This is when like 42nd Street was like a string of X-rated movie theaters and prostitutes and drug addicts like sprawled out on the nod on the sidewalk. Um, there's actually a really good movie if you haven't seen it. It's called Times Square, and it's got Tim Curry in it.
Oh,
It is a
interesting.
good
Yeah,
movie. It is a
the
good
the
movie.
soundtrack was phenomenal. It had Gary Newman and the Talking Heads,
Oh, I love
and
Talking Heads.
yeah, yeah. Um, and so it's about this girl from a well-to-do family but dysfunctional. She ends up in the hospital and she meets a homeless girl in the hospital. They befriend each other and they run away and they have these, sort of crazy escapades in New York City in the 1980s. And it really captures the period in the city perfectly. It's
Mm.
gritty, it's real. Um, it's a really good movie, and Tim Curry plays a disc jockey, a rebellious disc jockey. Couldn't see that coming. Um, and it's really good. I would totally recommend it. But yeah, I remember we would go into the city, and my dad was always like, "Okay, lock the doors, roll up the windows." And this was back when, if you stopped at any stoplight, there would be guys with spray bottles and rags, and they would want to wash your windshields
Mm.
for change, or it was everywhere. It was absolutely everywhere. And now I don't know, because I haven't been there in quite some time. I haven't been there in over a year now, and the last time I went, uh, didn't see anything.
Yeah.
Nothing like that. You
Yeah,
know,
I never experienced that type of the 80s. In 96, I think it was gentrified by then and relatively safe to walk. The first time that I went there was in 89, so I'd been there twice and I felt a little bit more worried then. But that was, I think, because I was younger and it was like one of the first big cities that I ventured out on my own. Yeah,
Mm.
I met up with a friend that I knew there.
the thing is that, like, there's some, like, rules when you're in a city, whether it's New York City or any city. It's like, don't make eye contact.
Mm,
That's a biggie. And don't look like a tourist. Do not look like you're lost.
yeah.
You know, do
Mm.
not have a map or a camera. And of
Yeah.
course, my dad was an idiot, because my dad, he would want us to go to the museums. So what did he do? He had a camera around his neck. He had my brother carrying one. I had one. Like, I'm like, Dad, you're trying to get us killed.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
please. Um, and of course, he wore the very typical dad outfit, like the Hawaiian shirt.
Mm.
Yes, he was notorious for the Hawaiian shirts.
Oh my
The,
goodness.
the louder, the better. You know, and then in the winter, it was um, he would wear. Do you know what a Tyrolean hat is?
No.
Mm.
It's almost like a German fedora, if you will. It's got a peak to it, and it usually has a sprig of boar's hair sticking out of it.
Yeah.
Picture German mountain climber with, like, lederhosen,
Yeah.
with those hats. Ricola, the Ricola commercials, a
Perfect. I
hat
got
like
the
that.
image. Yeah.
He would wear one of those hats, and it was the most embarrassing eyesore known to man. Like, my dad, no. Baseball cap, no. He had to wear a Tyrolean hat. It
Yeah.
was so embarrassing.
Well, that's what parents are for, right? They're there to
Yes.
embarrass their children.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Part of the game.
Absolutely.
And also the children are there to try and make a mockery of them as well. So you you fell into the role playing perfectly.
It was straight out of, like, a National Lampoon's
Yeah.
Vacation. Seriously, it's like when they go to the Europe and they're in France, and the father makes them wear berets with their names embroidered on them.
Mm-hmm.
That's the kind of crap my dad would do. You
Yeah.
know, he was notorious for that sort of stuff. It was very, very kitschy.
Yeah.
But I mean, I used to love going to the museums, though. I mean, embarrassment aside, and aside from my dad wanting my brother and I to pretend like we were several years younger so we could get a cheaper ticket, aside from that,
Yeah.
um, I loved the museums, especially the Metropolitan
Met.
Museum of
Yeah.
Art and the Museum
Mm.
of Natural History. Those were my favorites.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And if you've never been, you got to do it at least once.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
Definitely fantastic museums.
if um if you can't, then you can see actually quite a bit. And there was a movie called The Hideaways, and it was based off of a book called From the Mixed Up Files of Mrs. Basil E. Frankweiler, I believe. And you have these two children, they run away from home, and they stay hidden at the museum the Metropolitan Museum of Art, they
Mhm.
hide, and they blend in during the day, but at night they hide in the restroom stalls, and then when the guards are gone, like they sleep in the antique beds at night, and they bathe in the fountain near the cafe, and you can see a lot of the art in that movie.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. It's painfully dated 1970 something, but it's a really good movie.
Yeah. And I think nowadays they do have some online interactive presence on their site. So if you want to see something of the rooms or a piece of
And Michael,
artwork,
you're right. You have to like spend like several days to enjoy all of it, because otherwise you're
yeah,
just going to be like zooming through. You have to like spend time to enjoy everything. Go ahead.
yeah,
You were saying. I'm sorry.
yeah, I agree with it was Michael that said that you need a few days because I think after an hour and a half, you have this washed look over yourself like you're zombified.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's
It's
just
it's
like
hard to take in that
overload.
much beauty,
Yeah,
and because I've got stuff from all different time periods and different locations of the world, and um, the only one that I wouldn't necessarily recommend is MoMA,
mm,
um, which is the Museum of Modern Art.
yeah.
Really?
Is
I
that
don't get it.
the one that is in a round circular
That's
building?
Guggenheim.
The Guggenheim, yeah.
Yeah, the
Hmm.
Guggenheim, that the art in there, it rotates. It's not like the same thing all the time,
Yeah.
necessarily. I went there once. For some reason, I think they had motorcycles in there at the time,
Oh, that's
if I
cool.
remember correctly.
Yeah.
Um, but no, uh, in MoMA, the Museum of Modern Art, it's too abstract for me.
I
Okay.
love art museums.
I mean, I love
Yeah.
art museums too, but for me, it was just sort of like it was too abstract. Now, I
Yeah.
remember very distinctly, um, thank you, Helen. Um, what I do remember was there was like some cones and like some stanchion cables, and there was a wall outlet that was broken in the wall, and then there were some tiles on the floor that were broken, and so there was like a cordoned off area, and people were taking pictures. They thought that it was an exhibit.
An installation.
It was not an installation. It was a repair job. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. The fact that,
It's like
it's like
it's
it's
like
no, that's not abstract art. That is a repair job.
it's real life mimicking art.
Oh my gosh, they could have actually gone with it and been like, this is the piece of broken pieces.
Mhm.
You know.
Well, there was also, I think, another piece that is actually an art piece, which I don't understand it myself, but it's a banana that is duct taped to the wall,
Oh my
Hmm.
gosh, yes.
and then
That's-
they replace the banana, apparently. Like,
yeah.
they change out the banana. But apparently some teenage 20 something whatever, he went in and he ripped it off the wall and he ate it,
Oh wow.
and he got into some serious trouble for it. um
Hmm.
but honestly, to me, that's not art. you
Yeah.
know I'm a bit
Hmm.
more conservative when it comes to what I construe to be art.
Or
Yeah.
you know um
that's funny.
because to me, that has absolutely no effort involved, and I'm not saying that art requires painstaking effort that takes years and years and years, but no, it takes more than going to the produce section
Yeah, that
and
is not.
picking something up. Gary, I hope you're okay. You disappeared, my man. It's okay if you
It's
had to
fine.
go, but I hope you just lost your connection. um, Hope you'll be back. Um, but I'm a bit old school when it comes to art in that regard.
Yeah.
Um, and I know that there's lots of different interpretations of what art is and everything like that. I get that. It's like not everybody
Um,
is into Picasso or Degas or Monet. Some
right.
people, they prefer a Rembrandt, they want realism. I like impressionism just fine.
I want something that's going to draw me in and draw my attention, and it may be just the colors used, the palette used,
Yeah.
but not necessarily an overall picture, but that I'm inspired by color. So if it has a palette that is appealing to me, it's going to draw me in, then yeah, I'm going to be right there looking at it. It may not mean anything to anybody but me because I see colors.
Thank you, Pamela. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Gary. Oh, your battery died, Gary. Oh, it's
Oh,
okay. Well,
that's what I just
if you can come
fixed.
back, you are more than welcome. Always love to have you guys on. Um, I totally understand what you're saying. It's like if it speaks to you on some level,
Mhm.
then groovy. Um, like the impressionism work I really like Monet's water lilies. Ah, love,
Yeah.
love. Van Gogh's Starry Night, love. And those are very
Yes.
impressionistic works where it's not
Yes.
photorealistic. It's conveying an emotion in sort of like a dreamy quality,
Right.
you know.
Thomas
And
Kincaid.
you know, Kincaid, he's good too.
Thomas Kincaid. I think I've done every puzzle I've ever seen that he's had.
Well, Thomas Kincaid is good as far as conveying. Okay, he's good as far as conveying like a nostalgic emotion, but
Hmm.
as far as actual perspective, he's garbage.
Yeah. Yeah.
Since when is there a lamppost in a forest?
Right. Right.
Okay, this is not
Yep.
Narnia.
Yeah. It it's definitely it's like a lot of them I do see where there's a combination of like drawing in the old city and the farmland and bringing them
Mhm.
together. That's what I see in a lot of his paintings. It's like or like the canals of France or Italy, and bringing them into farmland, and bringing
Mhm.
it's like melding the two together or something.
From a commercial perspective, Kincaid was a genius, but from like an artistic perspective,
Yeah.
he's a moron. You know, if you'll forgive me my criticism,
No,
um,
you're right. We all have
you
our own
know.
opinions.
But then you have like Egon Schiele. It's either Schiele or Schiele. I mean, his stuff is haunting yet beautiful.
Uh-huh.
It's like his portraits; they're almost grotesque, but there's a subtle beauty about them.
Hmm.
Some of his models, I mean, they look like they were taken from a concentration camp. I mean, they look awful, but he captures a subtle beauty about them, which is
Hi, Robin.
odd to say, but um, and then you have like, Degas or, Magritte. I love Magritte. Love
Hmm.
his work because he had a thing for uh, not the impressionistic, but the surreal. One of the more famous pieces, it's a guy wearing he's wearing a bowler hat and he's got a green apple right in front of his face.
Mm.
You know
I
that
think I've
one?
seen that. I think I have seen that.
Hi, Robin.
It
Oh yeah,
sounds.
and Edward Munch. Yes, that's another one. He did Scream. I mean, that's another great impressionistic piece. It conveys so much emotion.
Valerie said, "I like Thomas Kincaid. Have mercy on Thomas Kincaid."
I did.
Right?
I said his good thing, and that he was a commercial genius. But as far as creating something that had like perspective viability, no, no. I'm sorry, but like the cottage is cute, but is Snow White moving in?
Right, right.
Like where are the birds that are going to sing along on my shoulder here? Um, And I don't get me wrong, I love thatched roofs, okay? Love thatched roofs.
I
Oh
like
my goodness gracious.
I like a lot of different ones, but I don't remember like names. Like I know Thomas Kincaid because, like I said, I've done a lot of his puzzles, and I just really, and of course, your big names that have been around since we were in school and studying art ourselves. But
Right.
it as far as it's just like if it speaks to me, I don't care who it is. It's
That's
just one
fine.
of those. I don't pay
You know,
much
but
attention to the
do
names.
you know Edward Gorey?
Edward Gorey.
Yes, he did the most splendiferous, phantasmagorical pen and ink drawings. If you grew up on PBS, there was the show, it was called Mystery,
Mm-hmm.
and he did the intro where it was an animated pen and ink type style with a lot of like sort of gothic nouveau, and there was a woman lying down going, oh.
That actually rings a bell. I think I do remember that.
She
Okay.
dropped a handkerchief and it dropped on a
Yes.
policeman's head. That's
Yes.
Edward Gorey.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
pen and ink, very, very Art Nouveau, Art Deco, noir.
Hmm.
Um, and like I love his drawings. Um, yeah, Shield post World War One did some amazing portraits. See, Cheese Goddess knows. I'm not alone. The Cheese Goddess knows. Um, there was also a really, really good book by Edward Gorey. It was like the unfortunate. It was something like with unfortunate children, where it was like the A to Z of unfortunate children. It was like, A is for Adam, he drowned. B is for Billy, he fell off the roof. Like it was just, it was like the untimely
Okay.
deaths of all these children in alphabetical order. It was
Okay.
horrible. Um, I don't think he did the Addams Family in the New Yorker, actually, for the love of yarn. I don't think he did that. But it's similarly styled. He might have, but I don't think that he did. I think that was perhaps a different artist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gary's here again. I'll be with you in
Yay.
just 1 second. I'm just tying my knot here. Hi
Hi,
again.
hi. I got the plug in there right now, so hopefully it doesn't die.
Well, thank you for popping back. At first, I'm like, crap, did I say something wrong?
No, just me being unorganized, and I was like, I actually tapped two kind of warnings along the way today saying 20% left, 10% left, and then I was like, oh, there we go.
Are you the one that runs till your tank is almost empty before you put gas? Okay, I figured.
Yeah, absolutely, that's true, because like why go to the gas station when you can sort of like stretch out another day kind of thing.
hmm No, I totally understand. I mean, I don't go anywhere. Um, did somebody do? Oh, well, see, Helen did a super chat. Thank you so much. Did somebody just do a gift? Who did the gifted membership? Who did that? I can't
Aw.
see who did that. Who did that? Thank you so much. Who did that?
Robin, she gifted
Robin,
20.
Robin
Oh,
Rhodes.
holy shamoles! Thank you so, or holy macannoli, as Punky Brewster would say. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Love
She
that
had better
pumpkin.
fashion sense than I do. She was much
Oh,
better at color. Thank you so much, Robin. Thank you. So
love
sweet.
Punky. Did you watch the at her as an adult
I
series that
Doing
haven't.
came
what?
out?
Punky
Punky Brewster.
Brewster
Well, I
as
know
an
it was
adult.
Moon Fry is her name. I know that. But what did she do as an adult?
She did the she's now an adult, and her friend, same friend, and I mean it was all like all
Terry
over again.
Johnson? Well,
I'm
because
pretty sure it was the same
there's
same
Terry Johnson,
lady.
then there was Margot something,
Margot, yeah. Um,
the rich bitch.
yeah, not that one, the other
She was
one.
a snot. And then there was oh, what was his name? What was his name?
I don't remember.
The little blonde-haired boy, Alan. his name was Alan. He always had like really bad temporary tattoos that were like half washed off. So he was always covered in like half removed, temporary tattoos. So little kid Alan and Cherry Johnson, and her dog was Brandon,
Yes.
and Henry Warnemont was her adopted father.
Wow, that's pretty. You remembered the whole cast.
I had a
Yes.
misspent childhood watching way too much TV. Um, but
It's
what we were
2001.
getting back at before about how back in the day, children like kids shows and sitcoms, they're more innocent than they are today.
Oh yeah.
Um, Back then, though, they did touch upon important issues. Of course, it was like, and on today on Punky Brewster, a very special episode that you should watch with your parents. They used to do that stuff back then.
Hmm.
And I remember one, it was the episode where they talked about the Challenger spaceship
Yeah.
exploding.
Oh,
I was
interesting.
there.
You
Yeah.
know, I mean that was another one of those PSA important type
Mhm.
Yeah.
episodes that they had, or Stranger Danger, or Just Say No. I mean that was all very 1980s. Um,
Cherry
Soleil. Oh,
is
okay.
is
Moonfry
one.
Soleil. Excuse me, Teresa. Thank you for correcting me. So I took a little bit of French, but I didn't get as far as the sun and the moon, even though I know that moon is loon, or excusez-moi. But I do remember that one episode where Cherry and Punky Brewster, they encounter a group of young girls that they call themselves the Chicklets.
Hmm.
Um,
Oh.
and the grandmother's like, "You want to be gum?" And they're like, "No, we're part of a group. We're part of a club, the Chicklets." And they all wanted to hang out in Punky's cool clubhouse that looked like a death trap. Um,
Uh-huh.
and they all start passing around drugs. And one of the things was referred to as nose candy.
Mm.
And
Hmm.
I'm like, oh, please, what 40-year-old wrote this? It's like kids did not refer to it as nose candy. They called it what
Mm.
it was back then, I mean,
Hmm.
Mhm.
and then when I was, in my 20s, it's like, no, it wasn't Xanax, it was Xanny bars. That
Hmm.
was it as far as like, lingo and slang was used. But, and then it was, of course, the that was sort of like the premise for the rest of the episode, which was her and a bunch of the other cast members, all about the Just Say No campaign, which was
Hmm.
headed by, I believe it was Barbara Bush,
It was.
if I'm not mistaken. Was it? Oh no, was it, no, Nancy Reagan.
Nancy Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan,
Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was Reagan. I was thinking
you
Bush
know.
too.
And
Yeah.
then there was, of course, the Dare program,
Yeah.
that I had to take when I was in elementary school. Dare. What did it say? What did Dare stand for anyway?
Uh,
I don't even
gonna make
remember.
me think too, because I was part of it too, and I got in trouble because and kicked out of it because I carried a pocket knife to school.
I was gonna say, were you smoking in the girls' room? In the
No,
girls' restroom? Did you get
I'm
caught smoking?
country, and we carry pocket knives on the farm. And I went to school after taking care of the horses, and got to gym class, and my clothes were in the locker. And while I was in gym class, they raided my locker and found my pocket knife. And yeah, well, that was the end of
You should
that.
have left the switchblade at home.
I'm like,
Naughty,
oh my
naughty, naughty.
gosh.
Oh, drug abuse resistance education. Thank you,
There you
Faraya. Thank
go.
you.
Wow.
There you go.
No wonder
See
you
that?
can remember the acronym. It's so long.
Well, yeah, it's like, well, leave it to the federal government to create something that nobody's going to actually remember or use or understand. You
Yeah,
know,
right.
It's almost like a paradox that they are using the acronym DARE because it's like,
Yeah.
do they want kids to kind of like dare to do it or
yeah.
Right.
not?
Or
Dog
I double
dare
dog
you.
dare you.
Yeah.
Here, try this. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
I dog dare you. I double dog dare you.
I triple dog dare you.
Yeah.
The coup de grace, the triple dog
Yeah.
dare.
No, you didn't. Yes, I did. No, you didn't.
Well,
Like,
you know
no
what?
way.
The best thing, though, I loved watching the behind the scenes sort of commentary of that movie. Do you know how they got the kid's tongue to stick to the pole?
No.
Oh, I don't know.
I love this. I love the behind the scenes little kitschy
Oh
stuffs. I
no.
love it.
Mm.
That pole was not metal, it was wood and it was hollow, and there was a hole, and they used suction to get the kid's tongue to stick to the pole. They used suction.
Oh,
Oh my
uh-huh.
goodness.
Clever, clever, clever. Even though there's so many annoying
Splinter.
bits in the movie, I love that movie,
That
and I
just
love
screams
all
splinters.
the little hidden tidbits of that movie. Um, Absolutely love it. And the book was really good too, which was
Mhm.
called "In God We Trust, All Others Pay Cash."
Mm. Okay. Hi, Lulus. Love yous.
Hi, Lou. Um, Whatchamacallit? Well, the thing is, the book actually is very different than the movie. The book is more of like a compilation of memories from when he was a kid. He revisits his hometown, and so the whole book is basically a bunch of anecdotes from when he was a kid, remembering growing up in a impoverished home and neighborhood. Um, and yes, Gene Shepherd. Yes, the only thing I didn't like about it is that he was quite often overtly racist and sexist in his
Mm.
writing. If you can get beyond that, I thought it was a very interesting slice of nostalgic Americana. If you can get beyond that, you know,
Hmm.
as much as some parts of it I found offensive, I could read between the lines and enjoy the parts that I wanted to enjoy, if that makes any sense. You
Well,
know, um, uh,
as
but
long as it was more enjoyable than my uncle's Ulysses, right?
there was nothing like painfully objectionable about it, other than the fact that the writing style was like, oh my god.
Oh, it was a
Helen
killer.
says Helen says, I got a call in the 90s asking what I did to avoid AIDS. I said, just say no. She told me it was the wrong campaign, and I told her it worked for AIDS too. Okay. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight,
Oh my
nine, 10,
goodness.
11, 12. Um, oh my God. You know, I am wondering though, how many more epidemics, pandemics that this generation is going to have to live through. You
Mhm.
know,
Mm,
it's like, you know, when I was a kid, you know, it was like AIDS was like the new scary boogeyman of the biological world. And now,
yes.
you know, we're just sort of getting over the vid. Um, you know, it's still a thing, but it's not the thing that it was, but it's still a thing.
It'll always
Um,
be there.
you know, and yeah, I'm just wondering what's next. I mean, we have the psychological version of it, brain rot.
Well,
Mhm.
supposedly there was somebody that passed from the plague. So
Oh,
we're
really?
back around to that type of
Do
stuff again.
do tell.
That was a news report from Missouri's KY3 news report came in today. I keep up, my mom lives in Missouri, so I keep up with the news out that way. And that was one of their things that they posted today was that, yeah, somebody died from the plague. And I'm like, great. So
As
that's
in
coming back
bubonic?
around.
As
I
in
have no
bubonic.
I have no idea. It just said plague. I didn't go into the article itself. I just was scrolling and went, wait, was that a joke? And then I seen where it was posted from and went, oh, okay, that's actual the news. So
Mm.
Dang. Okay.
yeah. I was like, ah, yeah, okay.
Yeah,
Moving
it's interesting
on.
nowadays. You have to kind of like get corroborating, almost like secondary
Second opinion on the news.
motion. Yeah,
Yeah.
like news needs to be like said a few times before it's
Yes.
believable.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's because there's so many there's so many different sources of information that are not vetted,
Yep.
and then one story can blow up like wildfire.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and yeah, it's sad but true. Um, the cheese says the plague is common in the Southwest. Interesting. Okay. Um, see, if my history is correct, um, it was predominantly transmitted by fleas, you know. So I imagine that like we have a better chance of avoiding that these days.
Yeah.
Um, with like, there's a big difference in sanitation now than there was back in the Middle Ages.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Like bathing was frowned upon in the Middle Ages. Now it's like it's frowned upon if you don't.
Well, it was
Yeah.
kind of like lumped together with, well, was it yellow fever? Was it this? Was it that? Oh, it was
Mm.
the plague. Well, what are you talking about? Which one?
Right.
Type thing.
Scarlet fever, measles, cholera,
Right.
what? Like some
Right.
sort of communicable mass lumped together disease. Um,
Exactly.
aren't there still rats that have the fleas? Well, that's the thing. I mean, the fleas would hitch a ride on the rats, and the thing is that the fleas went on the rats went on ocean vessels and would travel around the world, and that's how it went from that's how it made intercontinental uh, progress. Um, and the irony is that the doctors back way back in the day, they were called plague doctors, and they had these really
Right.
ominous, scary masks with
Yeah.
these huge plates
No.
for the eyes and a big beak, a conical beak that they would put incense in so that they didn't have to smell everything. And they wore these big cloaks. And actually, the fleas would hitch a ride on the cloaks, and the doctors were actually transmitting the disease. Oh, irony of ironies.
Mm-hmm. Hey, everyone coming
Um,
in.
Not many fleas in the Southwest desert, too dry. That's good. Texas, you have measles epidemic. Oh gosh.
Yeah. I heard about measles too.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Ugh.
Tracy.
I'm
Well,
pretty sure
kids, I'm
I'm
gonna
pretty sure
head
that I got
off.
that vaccine when I was a kid.
I'm gonna head off. Thank you, Fiber Spider, for having me tonight.
Oh, well, thank you for joining. Always a pleasure to have you on. You're always welcome.
Thank you, Craig. And also to see Spring again. It's great.
You
And
too,
everyone in the
Gary.
chat. Have a
Oh,
great weekend.
you
You
And
too,
I'll,
too.
Gary.
Thank you
yeah.
again. Thank you for joining.
Bye now.
Hi.
Bye.
See, we scared him off with our talk about communicable diseases.
He's like, yeah, no, we don't want that here.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I never talk about just one thing on this channel. I
Yeah.
go all over the place.
Right.
Yes, we talk about the fiber arts, but we also talk about movies and we talk about
Mm-hmm.
books. You know, um,
Exactly.
I mean, I okay, talking about various things like that. They're not pleasant, but they're relevant. Um, And the only thing that I don't really ever talk about on here are, religion and politics. That
Exactly.
no,
Yeah, that's a
we're
no.
good. We're good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but other things, yeah, that's fine.
Way
Um,
too many opinions to be in one
yeah,
room.
yeah, yeah. It's like I've got mine, and
Yep.
I'm gonna keep the mine.
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Thank you, Darth. Yeah, I like to talk about different things. I like variety. It's the spice of
Mhm.
life. Um,
Exactly.
I had gotten a comment. I don't know if I talked about this on a previous stream. I might have, but I got a comment from somebody that was rather upset that I did cooking videos.
Yes. The last time I was up, we talked about
Oh,
that.
we did? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they were all upset that
Yes.
I did cooking videos. I'm like, well, I do like the fiber arts tutorials on the weekends, but during the week I do other stuff. You know,
Right.
I'm
Right.
a fluid spider. I do other things. Um,
Exactly.
and I'm a human being. I'm not
Yeah.
I'm not omnipresent. I can't do everything. I mean, trust me, if I had my way, everybody out there in YouTube land, if I had my way, Faraya, oh well, thank you for joining us. Thank you, thank you. Hi, Trish. Um, if I had my way, and hi, Rainbow, if I could financially, feasibly, get by on the proceeds of everything that I do YouTube wise, that would be
Right.
fabulous, and then
But
I wouldn't have to have another job, and so on and
yeah.
so forth. And uh, hi, Rachel. Um, uh, it would be
Y'all.
great if I could, get by on just the one, thing, but I can't. So, um,
Hmm.
now, just the other day, I had somebody who's really mad at me.
Oh no.
Yes, they were very, very mad at me because apparently they had asked me a bunch of questions regarding a pattern tutorial,
Uh-huh.
um, and I was at work. And so they left like a couple of comments asking me questions, and then finally they wrote, you know, "Oh, Gary, you're very welcome. Thank you for, you know,
Always
Wait, he
enjoy
says,
Craig
"Thank you,
Messer.
Craig, for and Spring. You're both amazing, and I love what we chat about, including the transmitted diseases." Well, thank you for joining us. I know we talk about all sorts of things, never trying to
Yes.
be offensive, but interesting and informative and all that.
Right.
And trying to add like a little bit of humor, even if it's morbid humor.
Right.
But so they asked me a bunch of questions regarding one of my tutorials, and I was working. And when I'm working, I can't be on my phone. I have
Right.
to be working.
Working.
And so then they like in a fit of rage, "Snatched by Rachel, thank you so much. Thank you for the
Aw.
memberships. You
Thank
guys
you,
are so awesome and
Rachel.
sweet." So
Thank you,
awesome and sweet. And I
Rachel.
really appreciate it because, as always, without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So I don't take
Exactly.
that lightly. And I really appreciate it. And I thank you for that. Now, conversely, so this person was really pissed with me because I didn't respond to their question. So then they
Hmm.
said, "You know what? Fine. I see that you don't respond to questions, so I'm unsubscribing." So I'm like, "Okay, so you go from entitled and needy to passive aggressive in
That
one fell
irritates
swoop."
me. As if you have
And
nothing else going on in life.
so I'm like, the only thing that I could do at that point was reply, "Okay." Like I'm not gonna fight you. I'm not gonna beg you. I'm not, like
Right.
I love having subscribers, but
Right.
also I need that understanding that I'm not omnipresent and I don't have like a staff of people that help me with like
Right.
social media and responding to everything.
It's me and
And
me
like,
alone.
yeah, I'm a one-man band. I got the symbols
Exactly.
controlled by my knees, and I've got like a little pull thing to do the triangle, and I've got the symbols on
Yep.
my elbows.
Yep.
I do it all. And
Right.
so I'm not going to, be all, "Oh, it's okay, Bonnie. I hope you have a good evening.
Good night,
Good to see you
Bonnie.
too." Um, so the thing is that it's like, yes, I love my subscribers. Don't get me wrong. If I
Right.
could respond to everybody, I totally would. But there
Hmm.
aren't enough hours in the day,
Right.
and I try to sort of rationalize it like this. And I'm posing this to all of you guys out there in YouTube land. What would you rather me do? Would you rather that I respond individually to all of your comments and your questions and your requests and respond to absolutely everybody? Or would you like for me to continue to create tutorials and content? Because I can't do both,
Right.
you know? And I'm not being sarcastic, but I'm being a little bit snarky, but I'm not being sarcastic when I say that because, there are literally not enough hours in the day. And so the only way that I can continue to produce new content and creating, new projects and new garments and, doing what I do, it
Hmm.
takes a lot of time,
It
a lot of
does.
time, a lot of effort, and a lot of work. And so I
Oh
have
yeah.
to prioritize what's more important, not just to me, but to you guys. And that's
Right.
why the vast majority of the comments and the questions I don't respond to because I don't even get a chance to see them. So it is by no means anything personal. It is not like me snubbing you or anything like that. It's me having to
Try to
realize that
communicate.
I am but one spider. Oh,
Yep.
Christy, thank you. She says, I just want you to be you. Well, thank you. And Darthram says,
Right.
no, just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah,
Right.
Carmen says, content, please.
Yes.
Um, yeah, you know what, see, I appreciate that very much because sometimes I beat myself up over it and I'm sorry, hang on. I beat myself up over it because it sucks. Okay?
Yes.
It sucks, you know? Sorry.
It's okay. I get it. It
You
does.
know, because I want to make everybody happy. I want to make me happy. I want to make all you guys happy. And I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
No,
It
no,
sucks.
no. It is aggravating and it is overwhelming. And, you know, I'm like this compared to, little itty bitty compared to what you got going on as far as,
Never say that. We're all in the same boat, honey bunny. We're
but
all in the
I'm
same
talking
boat.
about like comments. I try to, as far as comments, I try to, like, when something's uploading, I try to answer, reply to comments. Or I pick a day that, like, today I, record my podcast while I, am on the computer. I take the opportunity to go through it. But that's, a handful of comments compared to the thousands of comments you
Ugh.
get. There's a difference there. But, if that's all you did, that's a full-time job, Craig. That's a full-time job. So don't be hard on yourself. I think you do amazing and you have amazing content. I've been making a lot of your stuff since long time ago.
We're not gonna date me now. We're not gonna date it.
Long time
Um,
ago, since before I even started doing this. Yeah.
because the thing is that, it's like I try not to let it get to me. I really try. There's so many things that so many times I want to say. It's like I want the full on Karen banshee to become unleashed and
Yep.
untethered, and I just want to say so many things, and I don't. And I
Oh,
try to play it cool, and
yep.
I try to be like I don't care, and then yeah, I start crying. Because I do have feelings too, I'm a
Yep.
human spider. And I'm
Yes.
seeing what all you guys are writing in the chat right now, and I totally appreciate it. I do. I really do. But, lay it on too thick and I'm gonna start crying again. Um, so
It
and so the
gets
thing is
a
that,
lot.
um, because this, like, I was, like, freaking out, um, last weekend, and I'm like, crap, what am I going to do? I have to come up with a new project. So then I was like racking my brain and I was already overtired because I didn't sleep the night before and I worked an early shift. And then,
That makes
so
it harder.
then I showed this just before earlier where I did this poncho and
Hmm.
I came up with it and
Nice.
I designed it and I made it in 2 days.
Nice.
And so it's got, I don't want my phone to go to sleep. So it's got this
I like
really
it.
lacy stitch, and it's a 2 round repeat, and it
Heck
works up
yeah.
super fast. I made it in 2 days, and it didn't even use up an entire bonus bundle of mandala, and I was so happy with it. But that's the thing, I had to devote all of my time and my energy.
Right.
Oh, thank you, Britta. Thank you.
Aw.
Um,
Awesome.
mm, you don't do this, you're gonna make me cry again. Um, And so, I did this and I was like, crap, 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 I need to make something. So then I'm like, okay, I got it. So this is going to be my video for tomorrow. Hi, Leslie. Ah, I'm
Awesome.
I'm I'm melting here. So yeah, it's really lacy. It's very
Great.
decorative. It's not a keep you warm poncho. It's a
Right.
dress up your outfit poncho.
The
Urban Yarn
picnic
Gary
poncho.
says. Yeah, yes, Stevie Nicks, yes. Craig, you're an empath and having amazing humanity, sending you love, friend. Thank you, Gary. So it's like I had to come up with this, you know? I had to figure something out, you know? And there's that pressure of I can't slow down or get off of the treadmill. I have to keep going. And
Right.
Michael and I, we've talked about this a lot, where it's just like, you know what? No, you're on the treadmill. You can't get off. You can't stop.
You
You'll
can't.
fall off the algorithm
Yep.
and you'll
Yep.
become
Yep.
invisible.
Yep.
So it's like,
The
I know
moment
that I'm
you
having,
stop, that's what happens.
I realize I'm having a bit of a, not a complete nervous breakdown, but I'm having just sort of like a right now. And I appreciate you guys bearing with me. Um, I really do. Thank you, Barbara. You know, it's just sometimes I need to vent a little bit, you know, and
Yeah.
you know, sometimes it's like, yes, I get a little bent out of shape about things.
You and me both, kid. You and me. Yes, I get it.
Uh,
Because it is hard to constantly be coming up with something. Constantly coming up with something. It is
yeah.
not easy and it is time consuming. And then you worry about, I don't know about you, but I'm sure you do because I've watched your videos and I know your content. But I always worry
Thank you,
about
Robin.
wasting someone's time with an hour and 15-minute long video. But if that's what it takes to get the quality in there, that's what you have to do. But you
Right.
always are like this, waiting for it to go out and the repercussions it's going to have, you know? It's
Hmm.
like, oh, it's going to get bad.
Yeah. Well, see,
But
that's the thing. Like when I got the comment, I was sitting in my car, I was on break, and I was with one of my coworkers. And actually, she's the one that I went with to get tattooed the last time. Awesome, awesome person. And so I was reading the comment, and she's like, "So wait a minute, they went from entitled to passive aggressive in one fell swoop. Like what?
hmm
What?" You know, and I'm like, well, you know, it's like the reason why I make the videos as long as I make them and I try to do the repeats is because I try to be thorough. She's like, "You're painfully thorough."
exactly.
Like, you know, like you
Exactly.
and like because I try to do everything that I can to minimize the amount of questions and
Right.
uncertainty.
Right.
And even at the expense of being redundant and boring people and getting people to turn off, you know, I would rather be thorough so that like I don't get inundated with a lot of questions. And you know what? Actually, the thing that I think really started me on that path was when I did the original video for the Kaleidoscope Granny.
Oh my goodness. I remember that. I did that.
Because when I did one video where I tried to explain the whole process. Thank
hmm
you, Dottie. Um, when I tried to do the whole process of the Kaleidoscope Granny as just one video and I went really fast, I got a lot of
hmm
comments that were chewing me out, and I think justifiably so, actually. They were chewing
hmm
me out like, "I don't get it. I
Right.
just I don't get it," you know? And so I'm like, "Okay." I in the back of my mind, I was like, "Okay, you wanna play? Let's
Right.
play." So then I did, like, the whole blanket stitch by stitch, and it was, like I wanna say it was, like, maybe, like, 12 parts long or something like
Yes,
that.
it
I'm like,
was.
"You wanna play ball? Let's play."
I
And I'm
do.
like, "Okay,
Oh my
Scrimshaw
gosh.
Rose is here? Hi,
Scrimshaw
Scrimshaw. You
Rose.
missed my meltdown." Um And so, yeah, I mean, I went whole hog on that tutorial. It was like my
It was
first, like,
funny.
major, crochet along, and
Yeah.
people still wanted more parts after that. I'm like, "No, stick me with a fork. I'm done. I did enough
Right?
on that series."
Right?
Um,
Mm.
and so but that was, like, a big turning point for me as a content creator as far as, like, knowing when, you gotta go that extra mile, you know?
Right.
Um, and So, also another example was actually the virus shawl.
Mm-hmm.
um, that I did because there were so many examples of that shawl being shown, but they
Mm-hmm.
didn't go further. It was just like,
Right.
okay, keep going in this same fashion. I'm like, I don't understand, but
Right.
then I was able to figure it out. And I'm like, okay, if I can just show just a little bit more,
Mm-hmm.
maybe it would make sense to more people. And that was, I attribute that as to being like one of like my big moments. And, you know, I'm forever grateful for that because it
That
got
one
me,
was
it got me noticed.
that was a
And
very popular one.
it's what I needed at that time because I'd been doing videos for, I don't know, maybe a year or two at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then finally I was like, oh, it clicked,
Mm-hmm.
and, it was so, oh, excuse me, it was so appreciated. And it gave me the momentum to keep going at the pace that I'm going now. It gave me that motivation, that push. And, you know, and then when I did the kaleidoscope granny, I'm like, okay, now you gotta put in, you gotta move your little tootsies and you gotta put in the work. Um, let's see. Trish says, I just saw a photo of a make of your pattern. It's virus shawl with granny squares, and I want to make that um, new blood here for you. Thank you, Trish. Yeah, the virus stitch, it's so much fun. And once you get the hang of it, it's like what, a 3, 4 row repeat, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
really not, it's not as complicated as it looks,
No,
you
it's
know?
not.
The only thing, what I do often say, anything regarding the virus stitch, though, is that when you're doing I think it's like chain 3 single crochet, chain 3 single crochet to create those little arches.
Mm-hmm.
Make sure that when you're doing your doubles and your singles, make sure that you don't mistake your single crochet for like a double crochet stitch. It's like there's like a fake faux pas faux stitch thing in there. It's
Yeah.
easy. So be sure to count. Be sure
Mm-hmm.
to count. Because otherwise, yes, you will cry.
And then
Um,
you did the virus meets granny.
so much fun. I mean, you guys know I love the granny.
Mm-hmm.
I'm all about the granny. It's one of my favorites. Um, And I mean, I was even thinking about getting, I might have mentioned this, I was thinking about getting a tattoo of the schematic of a granny square.
Really.
Um, yeah, I thought about it. But actually, I think that what I want to do is I want to get, because on this arm here,
Mm-hmm.
because I've got my flower of life, which
I
I
love that.
absolutely love how it came out. I'm so happy with how it came out.
Yes.
Um, but what I was thinking of for this arm, I actually want to do a sleeve, much
Oh.
to the chagrin of my mom. Um, but I would love to do a sleeve with geometric patterns, not just all one pattern, but a bunch of different geometric patterns. And I was thinking that on my elbow, maybe I have to talk to my artist about it. But I was thinking about maybe on my elbow doing a lotus mandala.
Ooh. That would be
You
really
know,
cool.
that's
That'd be really
sort of
neat.
like like the design of the Mont de Fleur,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
sort of like that.
That one. Yeah. That was pretty neat.
Geometric coming out and going out. I was thinking about having that on
That
my
would be
elbow.
cool.
Um, and there were a couple of other ideas that I had, like, the Chinese waves where it's like an arch with like
Mm-hmm.
a couple of more lines, and then there's like another layer. It's all about like tiered offset arches.
Right.
I was thinking maybe a sequence of that for the sleeve.
Be
On this
cool.
one, because I've got a Celtic knot on this arm, I was thinking about doing a Celtic type sleeve.
That would be
Maybe.
cool.
I have a lot of ideas. I only have so much skin, but I have a lot of
Right.
ideas. And you know, uh, eventually, I would like to make that happen. But first, um, uh, Ray says, "Hi, Craig. Love your tutorials. I love how you go the extra when making a tutorial. Thank you for all you do." Thank you, Ray Tina Saint Ong. On, I think it's Ong. I hate mispronouncing things, so if I am, I apologize. Um, but next month, I'm so excited because I got my appointment already. August 22nd is my next appointment. I'm getting a large back piece of the Green Man. I'm so excited, and I
Oh
just
my
can't hide it.
goodness. Oh my
Um,
goodness.
yeah, I wanted to take up the majority of my back,
Mm-hmm.
and I have this absolutely gorgeous image of the Green Man,
Mm-hmm.
with leaves, coming out of his hair and his beard, and he's a bit of a DILF, but a little bit.
Uh-huh.
But he's a looker. But it's just his face, but his eyes are very piercing, and I'm thinking going grayscale, just black and
Mm-hmm.
white. Don't plan on doing any color. And I really, really look forward to doing that next month. It might take more than one session though, and I'm okay
Yeah.
with that. I'm okay with that. Also, I've never gotten my back tattooed before, so I don't know what the pain is gonna be like compared to the pain that I had when I had my arms done. But, let's see, Nana says, "Yes, I love your tutorials, so does my granddaughter, Olivia. She still talks
Mm-hmm.
about when she talked to you on Coco's Live." Oh! Yeah, I haven't done a stream or joined in a stream with Coco in ages, you know? Um,
Mm-hmm.
been a long time. Um, but yeah, I don't know what the pain is gonna be like, but like, when I got the arms done, it's like, yeah, it hurts, but it's totally doable, you
Right.
know? It's a kind of pain that I can totally manage, and I don't freak out, and I don't need somebody to hold my hand. It's like, I'm alright. The back, like, if it's on the spine, might be a different story. I don't know yet.
I want mine up between my shoulder blades, and I drew it myself, and it's a representation of uh, the Cherokee Nation, the Irish, some German, a lot of my background, my history, all in one.
Oh.
Like the specific Celtic knots that mean certain things, hanging from a leaf, that looks like it's floating. The Not a leaf, but a feather meaning the Cherokee, and then the Irish. And I kind of drew it all out myself. That's something that would be okay for me to have because
Hey,
it would be,
Mima.
it
Well,
would
I
be
think it's
something.
awesome that you're designing it yourself. Me, I'm cheating and I'm just going through Google Images. But they have to mean something to me,
Yes. Yes.
And it does because I've had a fascination with the Green Man forever.
Mm-hmm.
Ever since I was a wee sprout. But he's
Don P.
the best way to pardon?
I was saying, hey, Don P.
Um, basically picture he's sort of like the male representation of Mother Nature. He's like Father Nature in a sense. He's
Mm-hmm.
old school pagan, pictorial representation of like Father Nature, essentially. That's like the layman's terms way of putting it. And I had another idea of getting maybe a faun or a satyr playing the pipes. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking because I found this really cool image of one who's like mid leap and his legs and his arms, he's like, yay! And I was thinking maybe that on my calf, perhaps. Also, body placement. I think that that's an appropriate place because he's
Yes.
like,
Yeah. Yeah.
he's like doing a little jig for joy.
Uh-huh.
Um, hey, Bradley. Um, And, so I have a lot of ideas, but I have every intention of, going one little step at a time, some people,
Right.
they go under, and it's more of like a hospital type setting, and they get anesthetized, and when they wake up, they're completely covered.
Oh my
No,
gosh. No.
no, no,
That's a hot
no.
no. Mm-mm.
That's a big hot mess, no.
Brenda
Um,
Bear.
you know I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Mm-mm.
No. Well, because also the thing is that your body, excuse me, your body essentially goes into shock,
Yeah.
because your entire body is getting like, you know, and your body's like, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But it's like, if it's just like one piece at a time, it's like, okay, I can handle this. It basically, it feels like, after
Right.
it's done and it's in the healing process, it feels like a sunburn.
Hmm.
That's essentially what it feels like. It feels like your skin was sunburned. It's really not that bad. When you're getting it done, it's like a vibrating knife just slowly gouging into you. It's like not just a needle going in. No, it's like a needle getting dragged. You know,
Oh,
um,
lovely.
it, yeah, it hurts, but it's a pain that you can get over because when it's not in you, like
Hmm.
when it's not being dragged across your skin, you don't really feel the pain. It's just sort of like,
Right.
oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
My cousin, she had a big rose put on her shoulder. Now, mind you, my cousin is from my grandmother's identical twin sister's child. I mean, this is like a lot closer than just a random cousin. She had a big rose put on her shoulder, and this was late 80s or mid to late 80s when she had that done. And I want to say it was like real early 90s they ended up having to remove it because she had a reaction to the ink
Oh.
as time went on.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, nice, no. Not for me.
Well, fortunately, I've never had any complications or anything, and also, they have this fabulous product out called Sanoderm, which they didn't have when I got my first one,
Hmm.
and so it was just sort of like, "Okay, keep it clean and keep your fingers crossed." Um, now the Sanoderm, it's this bandage, it's a clear adhesive bandage that goes over the tattoo, and
Hmm.
it's breathable,
Hmm.
but nothing can get in. Like air can get in, but nothing else can get in.
Hmm.
And so, um, you keep it on for like 3 days. And
Hmm.
during that time, it heals relatively good. And then after like 3 days, you peel it off. Peeling it off is not fun. Okay. I'll be
Don't
the
sound like
first to
it.
say it's not fun because picture taking off a regular band aid, but
Yeah.
picture one that is elastic.
Yeah.
And it's clear, so it's kinda hard to see, and it's elastic. It's very stretchy, and the whole thing is stuck to you, and
Yeah.
it's being stuck to, like, one big painful area, so when you're taking it off, it's like when you peel the Band-Aid off slowly?
Mhm.
Picture that, but, like, much, much bigger, and also, you have to take it off slowly because if you rip it off, you could damage your skin.
Yeah.
You could damage the tattoo, so you have to go slow. So, I got my friend that's gonna go with me this next time, I'm like, "Could you help me take off the senator? Because it's gonna be on my back.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way I can remove this sucker on my own." And my mom's like, "I'll do it." I'm like, "No,
No.
no."
No.
It's not that I don't love my mom, it's that
No.
she
No.
has never had it, so she wouldn't understand the context. So I have a feeling
Right.
that she'd just be like,
Mm.
"Oh, shut up and hold still." Rip.
Yeah.
I'd be afraid of
Hmm.
that. "Stop squirming, you big baby." "I gave you life, I can take it away." You know?
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Um,
I probably wouldn't be able to use that because I'm allergic to the adhesives in
mm,
all of that type stuff. Yeah.
yeah,
No patches. No nothing.
I had a slight reaction to the adhesive, but that went
Okay.
away really quick.
Hmm.
And to me, dealing with a little bit of reaction and discomfort is totally worth it when it means that the tattoo is not going to get infected. Because it didn't get infected, no scabbing, no scarring, no nothing. It's
Yeah.
completely clean. I mean, this is only like 2 weeks old, and it looks
Wow.
gorgeous, and I only have
Yeah.
a slight bit of itching, so I just
Hmm.
keep it clean, and I keep it moisturized, and I'm hunky dory.
Yeah.
But it's Sanoderm is awesome, I
Hmm.
totally recommend it, because that way
Interesting.
you don't have to walk on pins and needles and worry, "Is it gonna get infected?"
Yeah. No. Yeah. I get welts and like hives type situation
Yeah.
and all kinds of stuff, and it lasts for weeks after
Mm.
the adhesive has been removed. Weeks. Yeah. No.
Actually, Jen, I've seen that Celtic design where it's a spider and he's got the design on his abdomen. I have
Mm-hmm.
seen something like that before, and I thought about that, but to me, the legs, they seem like it's like the abdomen with the Celtic knot on it looks Celtic, yes, but the legs make me think it's more tribal looking. So
Right.
actually, I did think about getting a spider
That'd be cool.
right here, perched on my shoulder, and it looks
Hmm.
like it's actually three-dimensional because it's got shadow underneath it. So it
Hmm.
looks like it's perched and it looks three-dimensional. And that is something that I talked to them about actually. Like, is this a CGI Photoshop deal or can you actually do this? And like, we can do that. Oh, who just gifted memberships? Krista just said that she was gifted a membership. Well, thank you.
Oh, oh,
You guys are
Krista.
so sweet. Um, So yeah, I was thinking about getting a spider up here, perhaps. Because not just because of the whole fiber spider thing, not just because of that, but
Right.
because in nature they are the spinners, they are the weavers,
Mhm.
they are
That's for
like
sure.
they're one of the few creatures out there that are so creative.
Hmm.
And yes, it's to create a death trap. Yes, I know that, but orb specifically orb weavers, and that's the kind that
Yeah.
I would want, an orb weaver. Jumping spiders are adorable. They're fuzzy, they got the big eyes,
Cute. I
they're
love them.
adorable. But they're hunting spiders. They jump.
Right.
They jump
Right.
onto their prey. They don't do webs. Tarantulas,
Oh, I
they're
love
fuzzy, but they
tarantulas.
ain't cute.
Oh, I love
Tarant-
them.
they're
I,
not cute. They're
I
not
love
cute.
them.
No, they're not cute.
Yes, they
Black
are.
widows, black widows,
No.
their reputation precedes them, and also their webs are all over the place. They're very haphazard. I love the orb weaver web because it's got that circular radiating design,
Hmm.
and I mean the garden spider is an orb weaver. It's black and yellow, and it looks like death warmed over. They look terrifying, but they're completely harmless to humans, and they create these really gorgeous webs, and they are great at getting rid of pests in the garden. They're beneficial to us. If it weren't for spiders, we would be inundated with bugs that would eat our plants and make us
Yep.
sick, and they are beneficial. Yes, they're creepy, but they create beautiful things, and they're very helpful to us.
I love banana spiders. They're so cool.
They are venomous.
They are cool though, because you can touch their web and they do this number with their web to catch whatever.
Like,
I love
I'm
it.
gonna
You're like,
die.
yeah.
Yes, I know. Yeah,
I love them.
they just they slam dance.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
got their own mosh pit going on.
they do.
Flies, come
It's
on, we're gonna
fun.
do the mosh again.
Yeah.
Um, but I love orb weavers though. They are by and large my favorite. I mean, wolf spiders are terrifying. Trapdoor spiders. If you've never seen
Yeah,
a trapdoor spider,
yeah, yeah.
'cause it looks
They're
like this
big.
hand just comes out of nowhere,
Right.
this little trap door. It looks like moss and leaves. It goes whoop, and then his hand comes out and
Yeah.
grabs the prey and drags it in. They use
Mhm.
their webs. Uh, Thank you, Rachel. They use their webs for creating sort of like trip lines,
Mhm.
for when insects are crawling outside of their burrow. And then when it goes over the trip line, the spider's like, oh, there's food. And then they lunge out, they grab their prey, and they dart back inside. No, those are terrifying
Yeah, yeah.
because it's like guerrilla warfare with
Hmm.
spiders. But with orb weavers though, they're like, I'm here.
Hmm.
I'm not trying to like sneak attack you. I'm not trying to poison you. I just got this big old web and I'm just trying to get mosquitoes and gnats and other
Hmm.
things that are a pain in the butt out of your life. I like them.
I like spiders
Mm,
in general, but I mean, there are the ones, of course, that are, like brown recluse and stuff like that, that it's like, yeah, no.
yeah, but I
But if
mean,
it's
as far as
just whatever,
orb
yeah.
weavers, the most it would the biggest equivalent would be, it would be like a bee sting.
Hmm.
I mean, otherwise they're not going to harm you, and they're not going to actively pursue you. They don't want to be bothered. They just want to
Right.
do their own thing. You
Yeah.
know,
Just leave them alone. Yeah.
they're cool. Oh, I
Yeah. Jumping
Panda
spider.
Panda says, don't forget the camel spider. I want to forget the camel spider.
Yes, Panda. The
I
camel
want to
spider.
forget that one. Um,
Yes.
Thank you, Rachel, for renewing. I mean, jumping spiders, they're adorable, and you can keep them as pets, and they're extremely intelligent, and their vision is incredible. A lot of spiders are actually their vision is garbage, and that's why they rely on the vibrations of the web. But jumping spiders, they rely on their vision. That is the way that they hunt, and they are brilliant little guys. Um, and again, just another example of how we talk about so many different things on this channel. I am
Yep.
not a one-trick pony. I go all over the place, honey bunnies.
Uh-huh.
You know,
Yeah.
Rachel, camel spiders are not fun. They are terrifying. I'll even admit it. You know, and I'm not
They're
saying that people should
huge.
like. I'm not going to say that people should like the brown recluse, because it's like, yes, if it can actually kill you or do serious
Yeah.
harm to you, I'm not saying befriend it. You know,
Yeah.
um, you know, um, like I saw one in my kitchen. I don't know what make and model it was, but I did see a spider in my kitchen the other night, and he was just hanging out on the wall, just chilling out. I'm like, "Hey, how you doing? I'm just
Yep.
gonna be over here making cookies. You do you,
Right.
boo. I'll be over here."
Yeah.
Because
Right.
if he's in my house, it means there will be fewer fruit flies and gnats and other
Right.
obnoxious things that get in my way. So it's all
Mm-hmm.
good.
Yep.
Yeah, Panda says Lucas the Jumping Spider. He's an awesome sauce kind of dude. He's just like, hey, how you doing?
I don't
Reminds
mind. I
me
don't mind them. They don't bother
reminds
me.
me of well, Lucas the Jumping Spider reminds me of, there's, I don't know the name of it, but it's an egg. He's a little egg
Mm-hmm.
yolk. Do you know what I'm
Mm.
talking about?
No.
I want to say it's like a Japanese oriented cartoon where there's
Oh,
this little egg, you know, and then he
you
gets
lost me
cooked.
at cartoon.
Oh, come on. Does anybody know the little egg? I don't know the name, and I don't want to misspell it or mispronounce it, but I want to say, Fudo something. But he's cute. He's this little eggy guy. He's so cute.
Oh goodness.
Oh my god.
I
Bear
finished
says,
my.
I must be crazy. What? Oh, you finished?
I
Look at
finished.
you. That's gorgeous.
Thank you. Yeah, it's
Tell me about your
sparkly.
fiber there. Is there Stellina in that?
Yes, there is. I don't know if this is it or not. Once upon a time. Yes, this is it. It is 80% merino, 20% stellina.
Well, I love merino. It's
Yeah,
just
it
one of the
is.
best fibers.
So
And
sparkly.
Rachel says that you have witnessed her feeding spiders.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Here on the side of the porch, she was
Really?
visiting, and it was one night she was getting moths from the outside light and feeding it to the spider.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it was funny.
You're making me think of, there was a movie with Vincent Price in it. It was called Madhouse. And he was sort of like he was a horror movie star, and his character was Dr. Death. And it was these really cheesy horror movies that he did. And then people, like, there's somebody committing murders just like the murders that he committed, his character committed. And there
Mhm.
was a woman living in his basement that he didn't know about, who, she had like a huge terrarium full of spiders, and she's like, "Oh, my babies! Oh, yes, my babies!" And she was feeding. All the nourishment for my babies. It's just, you make me think of that. Oh, and Peter Cushing was in it too. Um,
Hmm.
I love all of the horror Hammer films. I mean, painfully gratuitous in so many ways. There's often gratuitous nudity that has no place being there, but they just did it for, exploitation purposes. And the blood looks so red, like more red than your shirt red. It's like
Mm.
that blood does not look like that. Um, um,
Thank you, everyone.
let's see. Support to some harmful or dangerous acts involving minors. Content showing a minor participating in dangerous activities or encouraging minors to do dangerous activities, particularly if what? Not advertiser friendly. I don't know if we're
Hmm.
talking about something that support of YouTube is objecting to. We're talking about a horror movie. I don't know what's going on.
Where in the heck did that come from?
I don't know. We're talking about a horror movie.
Spam.
Could be. Huh. Well, we're having a fun old time.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, weird.
Uh,
I'm guessing it's a bot or something. My guess is that
mhm.
since there were several messages, it was just like a run-on message that couldn't be fit into one message. Scrimshot, yes, you love Vincent Price, and I do too. Uh, you went to a genealogical group on Facebook and you learned he was a cousin. Oh, you lucky booger.
Right?
You lucky booger. We have so many people who are related to fabulous celebrities around here, even if they write really long run-on sentences.
I don't know who that might be.
Don't know. All right,
Have
so
no
hopefully
idea.
support of YouTube will, get a grip. I don't know. Ignore the bot. At least uh uh at least the bot is less obnoxious than other people that we had in here earlier.
Hmm.
Tarot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one. Hmm.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
that one needed to.
At least this appears to be a bot, not a troll. I can deal with a bot. Trolls, no thank you.
Yeah, that one needed a job. Needed something else to do in life.
Well, it reminds me of when I did go on, well, all right, no, I didn't, but I was in the chat on a live stream with Coco. Do you remember that?
Yes. Oh my God.
Yeah. It's like, wow, all the red flags just went way up.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. For those
Yeah.
of you that don't know what happened, so I was in the chat with one of Coco's streams, and then somebody wanted to join in as one of the video participants, and they were posing as me.
Yes. Picture and
Yes.
all.
Yeah, they were posing. Well, no, not picture. Well, all right, no,
The icon picture,
yes, the icon picture. Yes,
not
and they
the
misspelled my
overall
name.
picture.
Well, they misspelled my name, but they did
Yes.
capture my image, and they said that they were me. And then Coco's like, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, join up on the panel." And then as soon as the person joined on, it was
Mm.
a person, obviously a male, from the waist down.
Mm-hmm.
And then immediately, she disconnected that person. But I was just like, "Yeah, no, that's definitely not me.
Right.
Okay, no,
Right.
that's very much not me.
Not me.
No."
Yeah,
No,
that
I would
one
know.
was.
That's not me. Um, and so, yeah, unfortunately, trolls be trolling. Um, Jen says that you're related to Bat Masterson. Was that a Western show?
Bat Masterson. I don't know.
I think that
Doesn't
that was
ring a
like a
bell.
cowboy-ish type Western-y show, I think.
I don't watch. I didn't watch like Mom and them Gunsmoke and Bonanza and the Rifleman and all of those. I never watched them. I grew up farming,
Hmm.
so I just never watched them. They like watching westerns, and so my husband likes watching westerns, and I just
The closest to liking a Western that I liked, it was Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Because, I mean, it had a Western theme to it, but it was really more of a buddy movie.
uh Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, and there's one other one. It's a musical as well that I watched that I absolutely loved. But I mean, Other than that, I really don't.
Me neither. But I mean, to be fair though, Paul Newman, he's worth watching. Okay, and Robert Redford, come on, he's worth
Eh,
watching.
eh,
They
eh,
are too.
mm,
Um, he was a real person back when Wyatt Earp was alive. He was
mm.
during the Billy the Kid era. Ah, okay. Um,
Okay.
but no, Robert Redford, it's like, come on, you got eyes, use them. Hello.
No, Sam
Back in
Elliott
the day.
maybe. Sam Elliott maybe, but
Ah, Barbara says, yes, it was a Western.
okay, so
Yeah,
there you
I
go.
had a feeling. I mean, but with a name like Bat, you would think that it would be like a horror vampire thing, but
Right? Right?
yeah. Yes, yes. Bat Masterson was a lawman in the Wild Wild West, real person. Okay.
All right.
Um, See, I didn't know if Bat was like an actor's name or the actual person's name. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
I'm
Tom Selleck.
defunct when it comes. Oh, ooh, and he just got
Yes,
better with age. He was like a fine wine,
Tom
in
Selleck. Oh my gosh.
the Magnum PI era. It was just sort of
Yep.
like hello,
But
and then when he was in what?
I didn't watch it for Tom Selleck. I watched it for the helicopter.
And that's the irony. I didn't watch it for the helicopter. I watched it for him. You know,
I'm just like,
jeez. Well, all right. Here's the thing. The funny thing is that I didn't like the show for Tom Selleck's acting or for the scenarios that he was in. I loved the dialogue of his manservant with the English
mhm,
accent and the mustache. I
right.
loved him
Yes.
because he was snarky and he was
Yeah.
just like, "Sir, please, like what are you doing?"
Right.
Um, but I mean, of course, yes, like love Tom Selleck for the look. Um, Now, there was a great, great movie, Her Alibi. And yes,
Not ringing about.
Joy Crochet says the short shorts on Tom. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, no.
And Lisa says my husband looked very much like Tom Selleck. Well, I hate you and I'm jealous.
It's like
um,
the A Team. I didn't watch it for face or whatever. No,
mm.
Mr. T. I loved Mr. T.
Well, there was actually not Mr. T. There was the guy with the gray hair with the
Yeah.
cigar. I
Yeah.
liked
Yeah.
him.
Yeah, he was cool too. Yeah.
I liked
The
him because,
sophisticated one.
yeah. Um, Lisa says that was Higgins. I think that was the guy from Magnum PI.
Yes.
Um, Curse
Yes.
the programmers of YouTube. I just got the notice. Oh, I'm sorry. Um, but yeah, Her Alibi. Yeah, Knit and Crochet says it was a great movie. So Tom Selleck in Her Alibi, he plays a sort of like a spy novel writer.
Mhm.
And he goes to the courtroom to watch the court cases. And there's this young woman being tried for murder. And he falls like maddeningly in love with her. And he decides that he's going to become her alibi to get her out of this legal trouble. But in order to do that, she needs to move in with him.
Mhm.
And he is afraid that she's actually a murderer. And so she's living with him and he's attracted to her, but he's terrified of her at the same time. And this is Tom
Mhm.
Selleck. And it's absolutely hysterical.
Mhm.
It's really funny, especially if you haven't seen it. I'm not going to go into like too much thing, but just there's a scene with a crossbow. It is
Mhm.
the funniest, the absolutely funniest scene. I think it was a crossbow. It was some sort of bow and arrow thing, but Tom Selleck, the funniest.
Huh.
Absolutely. You got to
Hmm.
check it out. I'm telling you. It might even be on YouTube.
Possibly.
It
Probably.
might be. Um, Nit
Yeah.
says Tom Selleck is a guy that got more scrumptious with age, like Sean Connery and Burt Reynolds. Burt Reynolds to a degree, and then he fell flat.
Yeah.
Sean Connery, like seriously, just he. fine wine, cheese, just, mm, you know, and that's the thing about some guys. It's just, they just become more and more and more desirable.
So, do you remember Simon and Simon then?
Nope.
Because it was back during A Team, and it was brothers, and they both drove Chevrolet pickups, and that's why me, being me, I was watching it because they were driving trucks that I liked. So,
Well,
but
and it's funny though, 'cause
they worked for their mom. It was a family thing, so it was in that
okay.
same era and genre that the A Team and Magnum PI and all that.
Well, what for me though, it was the Dukes of Hazzard. It's like which Duke was cuter, and then all the other people I knew, it's like, oh, those cars and their chases and they're so
Yes.
cool. I'm like, but
Yeah.
his eyes, ah.
Schneider, John Schneider. He's a sweetheart. He's definitely a sweetheart.
Joy says Craig has the bonbons pulled out.
Yeah, right? Craig is crushing.
Well, I have to live vicariously. It's like that's what single
Right.
people do, they live
Mhm.
vicariously. Um, you know, Rose
Yeah.
Garland, hello, hello.
Welcome
And yes,
in.
Sam Elliott, he did age well. He did.
Yes,
So
he
many
did.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
It happens. Well, even Ian McKellen,
Yeah.
I mean, yes, he aged, but so distinguished.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, his voice, his manner of speaking, that alone can get you very far. But also, he just had such a distinguished grace about him. Patrick Stewart, another great example.
Mm-hmm.
The voice goes a long way. And
Yeah.
hey, I've got nothing against a bald head. Like when I get less lazy, I got one too. Um, you know. Um, oh wow.
Mm.
Madison says I saw a video the other day showed Tom Selleck on the dating game.
Oh my
It said
God.
he got discovered then. Well, whoever won that date, I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Paul Newman was my love child, his eyes to die for. Yes, he had the most beautiful, gorgeous blue eyes.
Mm.
Oh, and also, what was his name? He was in Misery and Rollerball. James Caan?
The main actor of
Yeah,
Misery.
yeah.
Uh, I remember his name,
I think
Paul
it was James
Sheldon, in the
Caan.
movie, but
I think it was James Caan. Um,
yeah.
uh, God broke the mold when he made Tom Selleck Barbara. You are so right. Yeah, well, that's the thing about Sean Connery. When he was very young doing the James
James
Bond movies,
Earl.
not so much. But later, I think one of the first times I saw him was when he was in Time Bandits. Loved that
Mhm.
movie. And he played Agamemnon. It's like, okay. And then when he did The Man Who Would Be King, hello.
Mm,
It's just that sophistication, you know?
right. Yes, I agree. James Earl Jones. Oh, his voice.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Just keep talking.
yeah.
Keep talking.
Well, James Earl Jones, Morgan Freeman,
Yes.
the voice, the
Yes.
cadence, the
Hmm.
articulation, which is so lost on so many people,
Yes.
seriously.
Very intelligent.
If you can express yourself and speak well, that
Clearly.
is a lost art.
Absolutely.
Elocution.
Hmm. I
And
absolutely love
Ray Tina
his.
says Grizzly Adams. Oh, honey, you know it. You know it. Give me a beard and I'm in seventh heaven.
The Fall Guy. I keep seeing the Fall Guy, the Fall Guy. Yeah, the Fall Guy.
I don't know the
It's
Fall Guy.
really that was during that time period too. Same, the Fall. Oh my gosh, you don't. You got okay. You got to look up
I
Fall
know the
Guy.
prisoner. I don't know the actor's name. Hello, poppers. Hello, you fluffy, fluffy, wanting some loves.
Come on. You no, I get the butt.
No,
Really? Thanks.
sweet baby.
I get the butt. I get the butt. Sillies.
Yeah, Time Bandits, they did a remake of that. I never watched the remake, but the original one, loved the original one. It was by Terry Gilliam.
Christopher Reeves hits on a different level for me. He his injury and the long
Mm,
time suffering of his injury, he would I liked him for the Superman role, but
mhm,
more so for the equestrian side of things.
mhm,
Being me again, and jumping. I did jumping back in those days. And
mhm,
my mom did jumping, equestrian jumping. And so when Christopher Reeves ended up injured, that was so hard for a lot of the equestrian world. And
mhm.
to watch him over the years was heartbreaking.
Well, like Greg Louganis, that too, for
Yeah.
swimmers and divers, Greg
Yeah.
Louganis, I mean, that was another huge monumental milestone in a lot of athletes' lives. Like, when
Yes.
you see a tragedy happen like that, it's like, yeah, we're mortal, unfortunately, and
Hmm.
it's just a very harsh reminder of that mortality, you know?
Hmm.
And Knit and
Absolutely.
Crochet says, "Robin Williams." Yeah,
Oh my
you know?
gosh. Love him.
Yeah,
Miss him. Love him.
There's nothing quite like a fuzzy man.
he
Well, he
his
he was
oh.
he was doing an interview where he was talking about his, interaction with, Coco, the
Hmm.
gorilla, and
Yes.
apparently Coco had a thing for men's nipples,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Cool.
he's like, you really can't argue with a gorilla that could, like, tear your arm off. It's like, you can't say no to a gorilla, and he's like, "Yes, I had this giant gorilla,
Yeah.
with, both my nipples," and it's like,
Yep.
you gotta smile and nod.
Exactly.
You just
Exactly.
gotta go with it. He's just like, "Yep, yep,
He
yep, yep."
he was so funny. Oh my god.
Coco was, I believe the ape's name was Coco, gorilla, excuse me, and profound, actually.
Hmm.
Um, Later in life, when Coco knew uh, that death was approaching, had like this really profound statement, which unfortunately I can't remember, but it was about man and life itself, and it was just like, that's deep.
Yeah.
So if you can find it, look it up. I'm sorry, I would be butchering it if I remembered and half said it correctly, but look it up. Seriously, well
Hmm.
worth checking out. It very insightful, believe it or not. You know,
Hmm.
um, my goodness gracious me. Can you
Six
believe
million dollar man. Hmm.
it's been like almost 3 hours?
Yes.
Oh, I am so spent. Patrick Dempsey, eh,
Mm-mm. Not
I mean,
no.
like, to each their own, but, like, you
Right.
know, I like a guy with meat on his bones.
Yeah.
He's too much of a skinny mini for me, I'm sorry. You know? I like a guy, with a bit more meat,
Yeah.
a little bit more substance, you know what? Notice how I didn't even mention once Jason Momoa until now. It's just like, okay.
That's one that everybody over. Yeah, and I'm
Me
just like
included.
whatever.
No, no,
Yeah.
I'm
I'm
there,
just like
me included.
whatever.
Um, just give me some, um, uh, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not Polynesian, Maori. Give me some Maori tattoos. Yep,
Yeah.
I'm there. You know, I mean, I don't think I would ever get Maori tattoos, because I can't lay claim.
Hmm.
Um, I don't think I would feel right. Like Celtic, I can feel fine with. Sacred geometry, that's
Right.
universal.
Right.
Um, you know, but that it just like anything, any sort of like religious iconography, I really don't think that I would feel comfortable with, because like, I think spirituality is one thing, religion's another.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and I'm not religious, you know?
Yeah.
to each their own. I don't judge those for that, for those that are. I'm just
Yep.
not,
Right.
but
Having the ability to be an adult and allow people to have their own expression is one thing.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I was brought up, as one thing, and I just sort of
Mhm.
found myself, doing something
Yep.
else, you
Yep.
know. But I mean, Celtic though, I mean that's more of a cultural thing,
Right.
and I mean, I am
Right.
part Irish, so that works for me. I mean, oh, yeah, another idea, perhaps some Germanic runes. That's another idea,
Mhm.
you know. I mean,
That
it's
would be
just all straight lines. It's real
yeah.
simple.
That would be really cool.
Well,
Gracie said I
actually,
was thinking.
what was it? Yeah, my the artist that did my tattooing, they did it was on Friday the 13th. They did like a marathon of tattooing with like $13 tattoos of runes, specifically runes.
Wow.
I wish I had known about that then. I
Yeah.
wish. Um, and Howie Will Lou Ferrigno in King of Queens without his Hulk makeup. Actually, the King of Queens, what is his name? Something James?
Oh, I know who you're talking. The sitcom
Yes,
King of Queens. I know who you're talking about. He's funny. Uh,
he's adorable.
he's hilarious.
He's hilarious and he's adorable, especially when he tries
Oh,
to show
man.
his wife what she was doing wrong pole dancing. I was like,
What?
"Oh my."
I remember that. Were you saying take my money?
And it's just, it's something James. Something James. It's
Kevin
not Kevin
James.
James. I don't
No,
think it's Kevin James.
they're
It's
saying
something
Kevin.
James. It is Kevin James.
They're saying it's Kevin.
He was also Paul Blart Mall Cop, and he was in
Yes.
I now pronounce you Chuck and Larry. I think he's
Yes.
adorable. I
He's
do,
hilarious. Oh my
or
gosh, he's hilarious.
Sean Astin.
Okay, I know who that. Yeah, I know who that is.
I mean, like not from when he was in the Goonies.
Right.
No,
Right.
from like Samwise Gamgee in the Lord of the Rings.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a total bromance going on there. Come on, don't tell me there wasn't. You
Right.
know, or Bob from Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm
Stranger
gonna give
Things was.
spoilers. I'm sorry, I'm gonna give spoilers. When he died, part of me died. It's like it was just as bad as when Dobby got killed in Harry
Oh,
Potter.
yeah.
It was just like a little piece of me just died, you know, because Sean Astin as Bob, he was like a ray of sunshine for Joyce that she so desperately needed, and he was,
Mm-hmm.
he was like this precious Saint Bernard of a boyfriend that she desperately needed, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and then it was ripped away from her. But I mean, she ended up with Hopper, and you know what? They make an adorable couple.
Yeah.
They fight like cats and dogs, but sometimes that's an adorable couple, you
Mm.
know. But it's already 10 o'clock, so I'm
Yeah.
going to turn into a pumpkin.
Yep.
So that being
Me too.
said,
I gotta record.
listen, we're going to call it a night, but listen, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And Gary,
Thank you
thank you
for
for
having me.
hopping on too. And
Yes.
everybody in the chat, I want to thank all of you for hopping in and joining us tonight. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And, thank you for the whole wild ride, emotional outbursts and bots and cretinous trolls and everything. It's been a wild ride, but
Yeah.
thank you.
Lots of
Seriously,
fun.
thank you. And listen, everybody, you guys know what to do until next time, right? Want to
Mm-hmm.
stay inspired, stay caffeinated, stay safe, take care of yourselves and each other. And I will see you guys in the next video. And thank you ever so much. You have a great day.